What's up, everybody? How is everybody doing today, man? You already know how it goes. It's your boy D back with another video, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are watching now, thank you. If you're watching later, thank you. Either way, I appreciate you. So today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the phone flipping. Just phone flipping. We're just going to be phone flipping today. That's what I'm about to get into right now. First, I want to make sure we're good. All right, cool. I'm supposed to actually be having someone come on as well to talk and ask me questions. One of the students to come in and ask me questions. All right, guys. So this is what we're gonna do. All right, I'm going to wait for him for a second. And matter of fact, let's do this. Let's pull up offer up instead. Let's do this. We ain't finna wait. We ain't finna wait. We won't start flipping automatically and we move all these tabs over. The first spreadsheet that you guys saw. Hold on. Okay. First spreadsheet. Well, I'll go over that later. All right, y'all. So look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna wait for the person. If you guys ever want to hop into the call, join the Discord, right? Join the Discord and then go over. Like this is where you can ask me questions, right? You go in here, right? Go in here. So now, prime example, I'm live in here. You go into the free Discord, it's linked below, and then join this channel, and I can hear you and we can talk and you can ask me questions. All right, I'm gonna start doing that just so I can be able to like connect with you guys more, and just answer questions, you know. But let's pull up the price list real quick. I'm not sure where my guy is, but we're gonna keep the show going. Now, the price list, I have some interesting news. Okay. I freaking lost a buyer because that buyer got arrested. Yes, he got arrested. And I want to talk about this real quick because the buyer got arrested because he was selling, well, he was holding phones for eBay that were stolen. And instead of him shipping them out to a wholesale buyer, he actually got arrested because somebody reported their phone. Oh, crap. Somebody reported their phone, that their phone was missing. And then the police came and found all of the phones. Mm-hmm. That's crazy, ain't it? All right. So, next, let's talk about phone flipping. Now, if I'm going to start phone flipping, you already know I'm going to use OfferUp for anything. Now, I have a video coming out today at 3 p.m. breaking all of the reasons why down, okay? And most of it is because OfferUp is going to have more hustlers, more people that grind. And I'm going to be honest with you. Facebook is going to have more of an older audience. Now, you can just look at my own page. You can see people are grinding. People are definitely trying to get this money for Christmas, trying to get money for the holidays. We're going to look at iPhones. We're also going to match it with the phone flipping price list. The phone flipping price list, not trying to sell y'all, but I will let y'all know what I'm using. The phone flipping price list is right here. And I think I'm going to come up with a video on how you can find your own buyers, like giving tips on how I found my own buyers. So you can try to find your own buyers. But one thing I do want to emphasize is buyers I'm talking about true buyers are really hard to come by. Somebody might tell you they're a buyer, but they're really not. They're just somebody buying phones to sell to somebody. I'm talking about direct buyers. I'm talking about buyers that actually buy phones, put them in the stores. That's the type of buyer you want because it's less money being taken from you, okay? So this is the buyer's prices that we're going to be using, okay? All right. So I want to make 10 offers. So I want to make 10 offers every single day. And the reason is because, let's break down the math, okay? If I make 10 offers every day for a week, now when we're counting a week, we're just going to say 5 days, okay? You can take weekends off. So that's 50 offers. If I make 50 offers, we got to talk about the law of averages. So what is the law of averages, right? So the law of averages The principle, ooh,
Law of averages.
oh, it's not going to say the whole thing. The principle that supposes most future events are likely to balance any past deviation from a presumed average. The law of averages suggests it is all right. So let's try to be okay. So that's just an. I'm going to see if we can get the common belief that relevant frequency of an event should correspond to its probability, and that is true. I have TikTok going. So what it basically states is the more you try to throw, the more shots you put up, the more you're going to convert, right? So that's why I rather put up 50 offers, right? And I rather get 5 solid phones that I brought. And if I get 5 phones that I brought and I make, let's just say, a $90 profit each phone, I'm making 450 a week, times that by 4, then you're going to be making 1,800 every single month, times that by 12, then you're making an extra 21. Okay, and that's important. That's important. All right, so we want to just be able to break it down small. You see how it went from real small to real big real fast, right? So it's all about starting to set goals. And a lot of people that don't see any type of success with phone flipping, they're the ones that are usually not setting goals. They are just literally just throwing stuff out there. All right, I'm trying not to curse. Okay, now we're going to offer up. Usually, what I do is I'll take off shipping because we really don't want to do no shipping, and that reminds me, y'all, I need to ship this off our package. Dang it. So we see some phones, but we also want to take away best match, and we want to go recent first. We want to find the phones that people are listing most recently. All right, so I'm going to talk while I'm doing offers so you guys can get into my mindset and so you guys can understand what I'm thinking. I'm also going to utilize the prices. Okay. So, all right. iPhone 14, right? So I see an iPhone 14, 128. I see this person wants 500, but I also see this iPhone 12 Pro Max, which catches my eye because it looks like it says unlocked and it's promoted. Why is that important? It's important because it seems like this individual is urgently trying to sell this phone. They're not trying to make sure it's a nice, clean background. I like the phones, and the phones that I find are most valuable are the phones that don't have the glit and the glam, and they're not trying to look cute. They're just literally trying to sell the phone, right? Like that's the phones that I want. I want the phones that are going to legit, literally just sell, okay? And I want to be able to get these phones so I can flip really quickly, okay? All right, this is interesting. All right, so now the way we're going to break this down is I know for a fact an iPhone 12 Pro Max I can't sell to a buyer. Why? Because an iPhone 12 Pro Max is not worth diddly squiddly squat in the industry at all to anybody that is flipping overseas. Now, what I mean by that is not in my realm, right? Because I want to make $50 to $90 profit. I don't want to put a cap on my profit, but I also don't want to be unrealistic, and I want to show you guys how we are going to be. Let me silence my phone. How we're going to be making offers, right? So, number one, when we make offers, we want to go by market value minus by profit wanted. Okay. So, we want to subtract profit wanted, and then we want to subtract wiggle room, which is going to be our negotiating space, right? So, we know that the iPhone 12, I got to eye this. Okay. I can go on the price list, but the price list is going to say some crazy ass number, right? It's going to say something crazy for the 12. I don't even know if it's okay. The 12 Pro Max unlocked. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, it's not that bad. And it's this 88% battery. That doesn't really matter. All of my buyers, I've been in agreement with them to not care about battery percentage because that holds my money back and it holds theirs as well. Okay. So we can see that for locked is 195. For unlocked, we're looking at 285, 265, and 245. One for A plus, B plus, and B grade, and then C is 225. Interesting. Okay, so we already can see from the picture that this looks like a phone that's in really fair condition. Okay, but you guys know what I do is I look at background a lot. Like I want to know not just okay. So, for example, he has another phone on the bed. That shows me that I guarantee you, I'm about 40% sure he has another phone listed. Now, I could be wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. But looking at the background can offer you a lot of context, right? So this is posted 2 hours ago. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, we know that the market value right now for this, we cannot go by because we're not going to sell this to a buyer. There's no way on God's green earth we're selling this to a buyer for this low, right? Because I could sell this to a consumer for probably like $300, right? Especially on Black Friday, or especially when Christmas is getting really close, people trying to scramble for like gifts and stuff. That's when you want to buy these phones. That's why you want to know market value, because I've sold things, a lot of things during Christmas last minute, last minute, and it's really beneficial, right? So I want to get all of these old phones, and make sure you tune into the video I dropped today on Hustler Taught Me, because that video is going to show you how I use like my system and my mindset on how I basically break down the value of a device. Okay, because it's very important for me to break down that value. Because again, I want to make sure I'm not overbidding, right? So, all right, we see that the 12 Pro Max unlocked 128 A plus, which A plus means that it comes in a box, right? But this does not come in a box. A plus grade is like new, comes in a box. Usually, A plus grade will be a phone like this that is 30 days old. So if somebody gets this out of the store off of Susan's account and they want to go and sell me this phone, they'll come to me and they'll be like, hey, I got this phone. I'm like, all right, bet. Cool. I look at the IMEI. The reason I look at the IMEI, because when I pull up SICW, right, I'm giving y'all game right now. Okay, I'm giving you game so you don't got to pay for it, right? Let me show you. Watch. Come on. I'm just loading up SICW. Y'all know I don't put my login anymore because people be trying to hack into my stuff. All right, cool. We good. So look. When you go to this website, SICW, okay, that's a plug. SICW is what I use to look at my phones because there's different choices, different options depending on the circumstance, right? So I see that this is unlocked, but what I really want to see is I want to see what the estimated purchase date is. Why? Because this estimated purchase date is going to tell me what category I put it in on the price list. Now you may be like, well, that doesn't make sense to me because if it's, let's say, 3 months old, it's still a new phone, even if it's still in the box, Brandon. No, that's not true. Because what happens is if a phone sits for too long, you have to wonder, okay, is it blacklisted? Is it lost or stolen? Is it just taken out of a store? And then now you have AT&T. They had a team member that actually just taken phones out of the safe. I had somebody do that before and sell me phones, and now those are reported and flagged. And now you have a hot phone on your hands. So that's why it's important to know the purchase date. And a lot of people don't know that. They don't even pay attention to the purchase date. But the purchase date is very, very important. Very, very important. Anyway, where's the dang price list at? Okay, so we know for a fact that, okay, this is brand new in a box, but it is 30 days past. Okay, 30 days past. That's what the difference is that this device is going to be a device that is not current. It is not a brand new phone. Like it wasn't brought this month. So if I see a phone and it was brought last month and somebody like, yeah, it's new. What in my head I'm thinking to myself is like, why are you selling it to me now, broski? Like, why didn't you sell it to me last month, right? Oh, I was sitting on it. Now, back in the day, that would make sense because you can do Asurion claims. And you could be like, oh, okay, I was using it to play YouTube so that I can have some usage on it, and then I did an insurance claim. Back in the day, that made sense. But now it doesn't. Now it's more like, yo, Asurion don't work that way anymore. They have repair shops in person. So what are you trying to do? Who are you trying to finesse? You feel me? All right. So that's sort of kind of where we're looking at it in that type of scope. Sorry, I'm sick, by the way. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we can't judge this off of this price because it doesn't come in a box. But I would say this is a B plus because of the pictures. Like the pictures, it looks pretty good, right? Like I really can't complain. It looks nice. Okay, like, but now when you look at the screen, it looks like I got a screen protector on it, but I don't even know if that's the case, right? But it looks nice. Okay. It looks like something that I would definitely take my time to, resell in my store, right? So what I would do is I say, okay, the B grade, B plus grade, that phone is worth $265, right? Now, if I was to sell it to a buyer, the way I would do it is I would say market value, so $265. Remember, all of the prices on this list should not be looked at as, this is the price that the buyer is going to pay. No, this is the market value. So this is the starting price the buyer will pay you. Okay, they won't pay you anything under, but you may get paid higher because again, we have them basically negotiating against each other to get the highest bid. Sort of kind of like an eBay bidding system, right? And this is the only price list that I know of that does this, okay? Because you have to have a lot of buyers in order to get it done. Money! Exactly, broski. So that's sort of kind of where you want to make sure you have the leverage. Now people are like, oh my God, why you charge for the prices? I charge for the prices because I have to pay the buyers to be a part of it. That's neither here nor there. All right, so boom. The way I'm going to work with this is I'm going to say, all right, so the market value is 265. All right, great, minus what I want my profit to be. Now, the older the phone, sometimes the lower your profit. I can't say, oh, I want to make $90 profit on this and then give them a $175 offer, right? It doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Like theoretically, they're already, when I send this, if I was to type this into this guy, he is going to in his head think, yo, this guy's trolling. Like he's not serious, right? He might start cursing and being weird, right? And we don't want to get that. We don't want to do that. Even if I was to say, all right, 265 minus 40, I still wouldn't be comfortable with that because that is not what this phone is worth, right? This is the price that an iPhone 12 is worth. So I can't say, okay, I do it for an iPhone 12 Pro Max and I don't have any wiggle room, right? Because even if he says no and objects to it, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? If he says no, this price is too low, what I'm going to do? I'm going to say, oh, okay, I'll do 25, but my profit margin is 40 already. So I would not use this price list as selling it to a buyer, but instead I would use this price list as a barometer or a thermometer to tell me how hot the phone is. So now I see that it's 265. I know this phone is hot. Any phone above $150 is a phone that you can sell in the market. So always stick with your original price. So, okay, that's a good question. Sticking to your original price is not what you want to do. What you want to do is you want to base it off of whatever price list you're using for market value. You want to say, okay, so it's worth 265 here. I know for a fact that if it's worth 265 here, then I can sell to a consumer for at least $150 more, especially because I know that it is the holiday time, right? So 265 plus 150. The reason I'm doing 150 is because usually buyers are making overseas, depending on the model, 150 or higher on each device. Okay. So, for example, I'll do that in a second because I don't want to get off of this one. So 415, right? So we're doing 415 as, okay, this right here is what I would charge somebody. Now, why? Because I know for a fact it's not going to sell for $415. I know it's not. It's going to sell under, but I need to have leverage. I need to make sure I have leverage, right? So I know for a fact this person, they don't really want 500. This person, they don't really want 450. This person, they really don't want 700. This person, they don't really want 375. You're a fool if you think that what they price it as, they really want. No, they usually want a little bit under. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to think of the same thing when we're doing this formula, right? So we did the market value plus the 150. Now we know, okay, I can list it on offer up myself for 415. Now, what would I offer this person, right? So this person wants 450. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, I would take a $50 profit. Okay, I would take a $50 profit. So I can offer this person 365. And then if I'm listing it at 415, right? And let's say I did get it for so that would be $50 profit. But I already know I'm not going to sell it for 415. You'll sell it really for like 400. Nobody's going to give you that extra 15, right? So if you go and sell it for 400, then you'll make a $35 profit, right? That's not bad, but it's a gamble. But also it's the holidays, so you may actually get that 415, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer this person, looking at it, I'm looking at it and I see he wants that 450. I know for a fact he probably really wants $50 to $100 less than that. So I'm going to start with a 150 deduction. So I'm going to offer him 150. I'm going to offer him 300 because you got to think about it. When people list phones, including you guys watching right now, you probably think about it in $50 increments or $100 increments. You don't really think about it like, oh, no, I'm gonna up this thing like 25 or $5. Right? Like you usually like, all right, 50 or 100. I know me when I'm listing products, whether it is reps or clones, whether it is MagSafe cases, whether it is cable bundles, whatever it is, I'm thinking about it in large amounts, right? So we're gonna offer this person 300. So now this is the part where you're making an offer. What do you say, right? Now a lot of people they'll be all friendly, like, hey dude, how are you? You know, or hey, my name is da da da. I've seen people do that. I also seen people they're scared to make the offer, so they try to be tender, right? I'll tell you to go hard, go in strong, go in confident, close it, let them know that you do this for a living. You feel me? So if you really did this for a living, you don't have time to send no friendly message, right? You too focused on getting to the bag. So I'm gonna say, I can do, I'm not introducing myself, I'm not trying to be friendly. I can do 300, right? And then what I'm gonna say, I gotta ask a question. Okay. Reason you want to ask a question because if your offer is too low, if your offer is not appealing, asking a question can create an illusion for the customer or the person you're negotiating with that you could spike that price up. Because if I say, hey, I can do 300, you got the box? Or I could say, you don't got the box? Question mark, right? Insinuate something. You got the box? Now, the reason I'm insinuating it because he might be like, yeah, I do got the box. If he do got the box, then guess what, guys? We're moving up the A plus grade. But I'm still gonna offer my guy the same amount that I'm offering, right? If he got the box, that's all right. That's good. That's awesome, right? But we want to always assume worst case scenario. Always assume the worst. That's one offer. All right. So let's go back to iPhone. And usually I get more specific, like iPhone 13, 14. But we'll just go and say iPhone. We go to recent. We take that shipping off. Oh, I don't want that, lady. Message me. Hey, it will. Shipping will update. Update. Oh, what the heck? All right. Okay, so boom. I don't know why it says Westchester, but it's okay. Okay, we did that. Now let's attack this one real quick. So what appealed me to this is that this person is taking a picture on his leg. Why is that important? Because with a lot of people, a lot of wholesale sellers, let me define that for you. Wholesale sellers are people that have cell phones all the time. They'll do this type of picture, but it will be in a box like this. This tells me this person, and I mean, this kind of giving it away. I don't know, like I'm the GOAT. Like that's just what it is, right? Because look at how I was about to say this is a wholesale seller because usually wholesale sellers take pictures like this. And then I see this. And the reason I know this is a wholesale seller is because he actually puts the back of the box in the picture. He also is showing us he has multiple devices. But now let's do this real quick. Let's read the description because it could be a scam, right? Because then I scroll down, I see he's been active since 2017, but look at his ratings, horrible. It's brand new. Comes with box and accessories. I ordered it on November 5th, yes, on election day. It came 8th on Friday. I have another purple one, but I decided to keep the purple one. No iCloud Live. Oh yeah, he's scamming. Now, how do I know it's a scam? Because usually what they do is they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got two, but I decided to keep one, and I just want to sell the other one because I got that one for my daughter, but like my daughter, she not old enough." But I mean, we can see if he responds, but Okay, so what we would do is we could look at that price list real quick for the iPhone 14. But I already know what it's hitting for, the iPhone 14. This is, and then he doesn't even say this is locked, right? He doesn't say where he ordered it from. He doesn't say nothing, right? And you might be like, well, how is it a scam when he put the IMEI? I mean, look at how blurry this IMEI is. But I do see a shipping box. That's kind of weird. I do see a shipping box. That's kind of interesting. But I would never offer him no 400. And this is where, if you have a price list, you are taking an advantage over everybody. Because look at this. Somebody would typically offer this person maybe 350, 400, and then they would be trying to sell it, and then they would lose out, right? This phone is a risk. One is sealed. So I'm already thinking in my head, all right, bet. Like if I do get this phone, I'm gonna go to the new phone tab. I'm gonna go to the iPhone 14 tab. But then I'm thinking to myself, this could be a clone, or it can be something where it's going to get blacklisted, or it could be a stolen phone. I don't trust this person. I don't trust nobody that takes pictures like this, regardless, right? Like that's just how it is, right? Now, what's making me really like not understand is he said he ordered it on Friday, but like, why is it? Hmm, this is weird, very weird. Okay, all right. Hmm. So if they don't let us know what it is, I would say, even though he said I won't do any lower than 440, he's crazy. Because if you look at the market value for it, look at how low it is. That means this phone is not in high demand. It's not. So I can do three, no, 285. No, I don't even want to do that. I can do 250. Yeah, I can do 250. It's used, and I don't want to say that because that's not 250. How many do you have? Even though he answered, I'm asking a dumb question because it just doesn't make sense. Hmm. Reason I'm staying away from this, there's no reason when guys are getting there for me to buy a iPhone 16 right now. Buying an iPhone 16 ain't gonna get you no bread. Note 400 my least. He's lying. Let me show you why. Because he said for nothing under 440, but he went under. Right? Right? Watch this. They brand new. They just came in Friday, so they're not open. Watch this. Please keep messaging me. Perfect. I bet. Watch this. Bet. What's the picture is blurry. I'll take all the phones you have today. Watch this. I want to ask another question, but I want to do one thing first. You can really, I want to see something. Let's see what he say. So when he responds, we'll see. Now let me explain why I did that. So he's answering really fast. He said nope, 400 my least. Then he said the brand new just came in Friday. Doesn't make sense, right? So I already know this is cat. In my mind, I know this is cat. But what I could have did to override this objection is I could have said, OfferUp is only in the US, but you can use Facebook, you can use a whole bunch of different whatever platform you guys use to local shop. I found that is yep, see that's what I found that's effective. Right here, hold on, look. So he says they brand new in the box just came in. So they're not open. He said with box and accessories and da da da. Yeah, I do get them a lot, just don't have anywhere to sell them. Interesting. Okay. So this might be a legit. I don't think so, but this might be legit. I personally want the IMEIs. And once I get the IMEIs, I'm going to tell him they're locked and I'm not offering you anything higher. Then he said, I just don't have nowhere to sell them, which explains why he doesn't know the market value. So I'll let him sit for a few days. He'll come back crawling to me, and then I'm going to tax his ass because when you spin the block, the price gets higher. That's how it works. It's not about being desperate for phones. A lot of people can't flip phones and can't do it effectively because they're so thirsty. Okay? If you go to a girl and you want this girl number and you really trying to get at her, you think that she gonna really pay you attention if you all up on her ass? Right? No, right? Like you gotta sort of kind of play it smooth. Like you gotta chill out, play the background, play the scene. Just chill out. When you chill out, you get to actually scope the scenery out, see what this girl is, what she do, her habits, see if you're really interested. And it's the same thing with phone company. All right, carriers T-Mobile works for Metro and Boost. That's not true because you still, even if it is T-Mobile, it does work there. And let's get that straight. But I don't believe it. Like I don't believe it until I see it because of a bunch of different circumstances that I've been through. Look up for trades only. 50 cash with it, or okay, I can do. Let me look at the prices for y'all. So 14 plus, mind you, all these phones I'm not selling to a buyer. They're all too low. And during the holidays, I don't sell to buyers really. I only sell to customers because the customers is out there. So we see 230. That's really what the market value is. So I'm gonna tell them like, yo, I can do 200. That's it. Ain't nobody giving you no PS5, no Xbox 380, 360, 350. Look for posts like this. Um, let me see something. This is not a real woman, but I don't like when people do this. There'd be guys that had a girl create a thing, and then they try to like act like women. It's weird. That's really weird. All right, let me do these offers, y'all. All right. So this is not a new phone. It's a used phone, right? And it's a. I wouldn't even buy this. What am I doing? Now, why would I buy it? Because it costs too much. It costs too much. It just costs too much to buy. Like, why would I buy an iPhone 15 Pro Max when I can buy an iPhone 12 and get the same exact um, profit margin? No point, right? Like, you want to start low. Like, I even do something like this. Like, this right here is good. I believe him, but this person looked like he sells phones, and I don't touch people that sell phones. Yeah, I don't touch people like this because they don't even know what they're doing. They don't. Like, oh, he was this. Probably know this person. Like this. Obviously, he got this for lower. He changed the screen. I could tell. Yeah, but I don't buy from other sellers because they think they know, and they don't even have price list of buyers. They have a price list of resellers. Atlas is a refurbisher. They're not a buyer. Two different things. I can do $250. You don't have the box, right? Boom. That guy still ain't sending the IMEI though. 13 Pro Max. 13 Pro. Yeah, all the phones is out right now, y'all. When I see descriptions like this, it screams to me fraud. But then I see this, and it looks like they do good work. iPhone 13 Pro U. Is it on the lock? It is on lock. I can do 260. The reason I can do 260 because I really could do 300, but I don't want to. But I give myself wiggle room. No, that's a dumbass offer. That's not high enough. No, that is high enough, right? That's high enough. Let me think. That's high enough because that's high enough. You don't have the box, right? Yes, I have a little bit of time left. Jump on the Discord. The Q&A channel. Cool. Let's see. This is crazy work. This right here don't make no damn sense. This is the definition of overpricing your product because you want, what? They trying to get some money for Christmas again. So I'm just looking, guys. An iPhone XR for $175. That's not gonna cut it. I would never buy that. Oh, I'm getting tired. I would never buy that. iPhone for sale. Don't even have them. No, but stay away from all 15s. 15s aren't gonna make us money. They are not gonna make us money. This case is tough. Yeah, don't buy no iPhone 6. Please don't. iPhone 14 Plus Red. Next to the Plansky. You know this is a legitimate phone. They start putting it up in different places next to plants. You know they legit. You're safe with them. So I can do a 14 Plus, especially red. Red is the worst color to buy. Just let y'all know. If you get a red phone, deducted by $50. Buyers overseas hate red phones. They hate them. All right, so is this unlocked? Okay, it is unlocked. 300, 260. Okay. I can do 300. I only will go up to 350. You don't have the box. Right. The guy still didn't text us the IMEI. That's interesting. Let me hop in. Am I in this already? Okay. Interesting. Ooh, this is. It's lost. What you mean? Is this channel? Yo, how I unlock this channel, yo? There we go. Yo, what's up? You hear me? Let's see. Are you talking? Yeah, you're talking. I just can't hear you. 1 second. It might be me. Hmm. I don't know why I can't hear you actually. Let me see something. Yeah. I don't know why I can't hear you. Looks like you can hear me though. Let me do this. Let me see. Hello? Alright, I can hear you. Huh? Yeah, I can hear you. Yep. Yeah, no, I don't think it was you. I think it was me.
Well, I was monkeying with my settings too because sometimes I chat. Sometimes when I'm talking on with some friends of mine on Discord,
Mm-hmm.
in order so that we're not talking over each other, we do a push to talk setting. So I had to monkey with that too.
Oh, okay. 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 No, yeah, we're good. We're all straight. All right. Perfect. Let me get off of here. All right, perfect. All right, so when it comes to questioning, I'm ready for your questions. I'm
All right, give me just 1 minute. I gotta grab something.
Yep, no, that's perfectly fine. Again, guys, if you guys want to be able to talk to me and ask me questions live, make sure you guys join the Discord, and then all you have to do, join the Discord, and then go to the the live Q&A section. I'm just trying to make. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all let me know? Can y'all hear me? I think y'all can. Can anybody let me know? All right. All right. So while we're waiting for him, let's continue. All right. What'd you say?
I was asking, how's your morning going?
It's going, man. It's going good, man. Can't complain. I got sick because of the change of weather. That's probably it. That's just the downfall of today, honestly. But other than that, everything's good. How about you?
Nothing too bad. I hope just like the sniffles or something.
Yep, yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what fucked me up this morning. My wife was feeling like crap last night, so
Yep.
kind of screwed up sleep schedule and everything, and running around all night, and still feeling like crap this morning. Time shit got away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I won't lie, I hate daylight savings time, and just about the time you get totally settled into it, they have to change the shit again.
Mm-hmm. No, that is true. I don't like it either. I just, again, it throws, like you said, it throws you off your schedule. For sure. iPhone 13.
So I kind of wanted to pick your brain. Like you said, I really did like your idea as far as shifting away from the with the distance and all.
Yeah.
Shifting towards more of a consumer buyback element versus just straight flipping.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, if I'm able to pick up phones where the price point still makes sense, it might very well still work out, but it's not going to be necessarily super frequently. I had kind of a question for you in regards to the selling thing, because something has recently come to my attention that could be incredibly beneficial insofar as stacking the the idea of being able to connect with stores and such,
Mm-hmm.
as well as potentially talk to people in that space as far as reselling items. So here's the thought process. Um, Due to my health, I mean, I'm sure I've mentioned it before. Due to my health, I'm not able to do an incredible amount of lifting or physical exertions these days. I have to use my brain,
Yep.
more and more, because I'm not no spring chicken no more. That's why I laugh on YouTube when you say you're 30 year old. Jesus, if you're old, I'm ancient. Um, so here's the thought process. Um, there are companies, believe it or not, in this area that will pay you for courier service. I don't know if you've heard of this before. Basically, you are picking up um, uh, medical samples and packages and doing last mile delivery stuff. It's basically they supplement that stuff, and they run all over up into like Tacoma and Olympia. So the thought process was, well, if I'm going up there and they're paying me to go up there, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
While I'm up there, I could double dip, so to speak. Try to connect with the pawn shops like we talked about before. The other possibility is I could very well also try to connect with local shops and businesses, like I've heard you mention before when you talked face to face as far as reselling electronics, and I kind of wanted to, unpack that and pick your brain a little bit about insofar as like how you approach that. What's your operational methods on that? How do you go about that usually? Say you walk into a store and you see that it's not necessarily an electronics store, but just like even for example a small gas station or something. or whatever. Because I see gas stations all the time over here sell electronics and stuff in
Yeah.
this area, and they're selling stuff for like 15 to 20 bucks a piece. So I know I can sell stuff to them, for well under what they're paying, and the stuff that they're buying is generally, from what I'm seeing, very generic Android oriented stuff.
Yeah.
And I do see people around here, believe it or not, even though it's a smaller area, that are iPhone lovers too. So wanted to get your thoughts.
Okay. So, all right. I used to have a store that was connected to a gas station, and
This was one of the T-Mobile stores, or
no, this was my store. It was called the Connect, right? And this store I had was like, I felt like it was going to be the best store because while I had the perfect location, I thought, because clients were always getting gas. So I'm thinking like this is a moneymaker. You have people that are going and coming all the time. And I'm saying it was attached to the gas station. Like, so I'm like, wow,
Right.
like this is awesome.
yeah, I could see like charge cords, car adapters,
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So I'm thinking it's going to be great. Long story short, it isn't because of the pandemic. The pandemic ends up happening. But I went over to the gas station because I figured out, this ain't gonna work. I'm gonna have to close. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't want to just lose this spot because I did have some people that knew me for being there. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to connect with the people that are staying, right? Which is, of course, the gas station.
Sure.
The first thing you want to do, the first thing I did
I mean,
was,
I can see the benefit there, and you're not necessarily even having infrastructure costs of having a store too.
yeah, which is the worst thing anybody could do is get a store. Stores are completely overrated, cost you a lot of money. A lot of things nowadays are trending towards only online, right? So, what I would say is if I was to walk into any location, this particular instance, it was the gas station. I first want to get to know the person. Like, I want to come off as me understanding if this is the decision maker. It's really important, right? Like, is this the decision maker? If it's not the decision maker, who is it? Is this just an employee? A lot of gas stations don't usually just have employees. Some independent ones obviously have family members, friends of the owner. So my approach was to get to at least introduce myself, and I did that, and then I just left. I didn't pitch any idea, right? Because
Okay.
when
I will tell you in advance. I will tell you around here it's kind of cool because, like, if you look on Google Maps, if I look up local gas stations, they're not even called Shell. Like it's called Gene and Barb's,
yeah,
or Mead Family Market. So they're all like small family run shops.
that is perfect. That is perfect. So with that being said, what you want to do is you want to understand the importance of your leverage because you don't have any right now. The gas station doesn't need you. And if you were to just go in there, hey, how are you? My name is blank. Hey, I just want to see if you are interested in, having products in your store. That at that point, they get those calls. Like all store owners and business owners get these calls where it's like, hey, we want to partner. And like I just got 3 paid little promotional things from DH Gateway. I'm on live right now. Hey, we want you to become a an ambassador and whatever the heck they I didn't read the email, but all I saw is a money number and they're gonna send me this amount of products, right? But like you get used to that and it's sort of kind of copy and paste. You do that with the next person too. So it's like I don't really see the
Right.
value.
It's like you become like a phone book salesman basically.
Exactly. So you want to get to know them, and then you want to also say, okay, is this location, when you go into the location, does it have traffic, right? If it doesn't have traffic, that's okay. The reason that you want to see if it has traffic is because you want to be able to find a weakness in the business, right? So either the business doesn't have traffic, a pawn shop, prime example, they may have traffic, but is your traffic converting? Like, are you selling everybody that walks into the door, or are they selling you? The pawn shop, most people are selling them. Most people are actually going in there to sell things, and then the pawn shop needs to post the things on eBay because nobody really goes in the pawn shops anymore, right? So
Right.
that's sort of
Basically, you got to basically you're trying to figure out what the average return is on people walking through the door for them.
hmm yeah, because when you find out, hey, what is your conversion rate, then you can also see, okay, does your business need help? Good thing about this day and age is everybody's business needs help, right? Everybody can use a little bit of assistance. So it's like, okay, this is what I have to offer, right? So first, you are, hey, how are you? My name is Brandon. I live down the street. I come here to get gas all the time. I actually just started my own business, and I wanted to just introduce myself and just ask you if you had any business advice, like, or if this is the decision maker, obviously. Do you have any business advice, or is it lucrative owning a gas station, or is it lucrative having a pawn shop? Because it looks like you guys are running it really well. Boom.
Right now, all of a sudden, you're a business owner that you're developing camaraderie rather than just pitching shit. I got you.
Exactly. So then after I do that, I'll come back maybe next day or a few days after, and I'm like, hey, by the way, I wanted to actually drop off a product. I want to drop off a product to you. You know, I want you to test this product. I own a online product shop or a wireless shop, whatever you want to call it, a wholesale distribution shop, whatever you want. I own a wholesale company that sells products, and I wanted to give you a product just to test out. Give them a little adapter or whatever, right? You give it to them, and you're like, by the way, do you sell these here? You know, and you just start asking discovery questions. And when you start asking those discovery questions, mentally you'll start to evaluate, okay, this is how I can fit. You have to in your mind see where you fit in each location. Like, okay, I fit because hey, I can get car mounts. I don't see you having any car mounts. It looks like you have the basic chargers that nobody wants. I'm gonna be honest with you. And this is why I would walk up to somebody at a gas station because I'm envisioning it. I walk up to somebody at a gas station, and you know how they have them little chargers, but it don't have it's no packaging, it's just the chargers. I would walk up and I'll say,
Right. It's usually just a charge cord that's like
yeah,
coiled up, but it's got no box, no packaging.
yeah.
It's
So
probably got one of those little plastic zip tied hanging
yeah,
hangers on it, so you can put it on a peg, but there's no packaging whatsoever.
yeah. So what I would do is I walk up to the person and I say, hey, you know, you know what really make them pop? If they have packaging on it. That would make them pop. Let me ask you something, right? How would you feel if I gave you two of these headphones, sit them on your counter, sit them up on a peg, sit them wherever, and let's see how fast they sell. I don't want any of the profits. It's all yours. I just honestly want to see the demographic around here because I'm thinking about starting a business around here, thinking about running an ad around here. Like you start to just develop, you have to do it in your own way. I can't tell you the exact uniform way to do it, but I can just tell you how my mind thinks is I look for a problem, and once I find that problem, I offer a sample. Not just because I want to give them a good feeling, but I also want to see if it works, right? Like I don't want to put
Right,
no
you're
products
giving
in
it a
here.
taste to see if it moves.
Exactly.
I got you.
Right. So, and a lot of people, especially in business, they don't understand it. You're going to lose a lot of money, right? Like losing money is a part of the game. Like that's how it happens, right? You lose money. And you're going to have to give them a free product, obviously, because you got to show them how you differ. And the reason you want to show them how you differ is because if you think about it, those same chargers that we're talking about and laughing at, they probably only cost them like 50 cents. And instead of thinking about quality, they're thinking about, okay, I just need something to hang on this shelf. I just need an impulse buy product. And, an impulse buy product is a product that you see near a cash register or when you're about to check out. Those are those type of products, and they're good, but it's like, if you could put that product into a more attractive package, or if you can get higher quality, now yes, you'll have people coming in for gas, but you'll also have people like, oh, whoa, this costs $20 at the Apple store. I can get this here. And now,
and let's face it, those white boxes that most of your products come in, those damn things are iconic.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you just really want to make sure that you're finding that problem, but also being that solution, but also being relatable.
Sure.
So that would be my advice in that sense, is to be very much personal to the point to where people are like, well, okay, Andy, I'm not sure if this will work, but I definitely wouldn't mind giving it a try. So
let me ask you this. As far as, like case in point, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like at the local supermarket, we have one in Morton County, or Morton supermarket. They have those exact, they have the 10-foot Android ones with the little plastic hangers and shit hanging on the peg.
yeah.
And they have those dadgum things going for $20 a piece. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I guess as far as like when I'm trying to, connect with all these various shops, whatever, etc. in the area, what do you feel like is too much? I guess what I'm asking is, what do you feel like should I be approaching just every single store, or is there kind of a formula how you go about that to where I'm not like every single store along the way has them, or how do you go about that?
Every store has them. So okay. So now what we're talking about is saturation.
Right, like how do you? Because I don't want to like get some of them turned on to it and then have every single store having the same thing and having being like, potentially pissed off. So I'm kind of wondering, like what's your thought process there? How do you go about that, balancing that out to where you know that people can find it, yet not potentially, stepping on the people's feet that you've already got on board, if that makes sense.
So what I tell people is like, I used to be a store owner where I was getting the same products as the store down the street, right? Like wireless stores everywhere, right? You have people that have phone stores next to each other. Like you have people, you have one block where it's a phone store, and then it's another block right next to it with a phone store, especially in Philly, right? And they provide the same services. But here's the funny thing: one store in those two is about to shut down. And the difference is, how can store A be thriving, but store B be about to shut down when in the same demographic, same spot, same location? It's because niche, right? They decided what niche they were going to cater to. And when it comes to fixing your wholesale business to be able to cater to multiple stores, you have to worry, or no, you have to understand when to mind your business. And what I mean by that is there is,
Could you repeat that again?
Mind your business. Like you have to know when to literally mind your business as a wholesaler, because you'll have times when you're overthinking, like, oh no, I just sold the charger bundle to this person and they're next to that person. Whose job is it to do the research, your product research, to see what sells for what customer? See, where you have to remember to always stay focused is your job is to deliver the product. Your job is to position the product. Your job is to provide them with a solution. Their job is to package that solution and also find out what solutions are good for their location. You are prime example. It might be one location on block A that sells great with chargers. They sell chargers all the time. Customers come to them for chargers. But then you got another store trying to imitate it. And if they try to imitate it, they'll usually find that it doesn't work. Smoke shops are a great example of this. So there's smoke shops everywhere. And
Shit, I love that. I hadn't even thought of that one.
yeah, like smoke shops, they have vapes. I don't smoke, I don't vape, I don't do anything, but I have friends that own smoke shops. And I go to my friend's smoke shop and I say, yo, bro, you got the same vape the boy that the street got. And he's like, yeah, but I sell more.
As a former smoker, I absolutely, I hear you.
but he's like, I sell more than that person. Everybody comes to me for the vapes. I said, why? He says, because I give better customer service. He says, because I treat them better. He says, because I have a more lit up store. So all of that stuff is for the stores to handle and not for you to worry about. Because first you need to make sure that you're that far in demand, like people really want you that bad. And then if you find that people really want you that bad to where you got to worry about saturation and people actually pulling you this way and that way, then you have to start saying, all right, bet I'm gonna start taxing people. So when you start finding that people, store A is buying products from you and store B is buying the same products from you, raise the price. One of those stores that are about to close are going to stop buying products from you. Go ahead.
Right. I kind of felt like that was, what I kind of expected that was what you were going to say. I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that because, I mean, again, like I said, I live in a pretty rural area, so realistically, the average stores are like 2 or 3 miles apart, so it's probably never going to be a problem, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. But I love the idea of smoke shops. That's awesome.
Yeah, smoke shops are one of the top places that I sell products to. I have products about, I have about, I can't even really make a guess, but I sell about 1,500 products every week to different stores in my area. But these stores that I'm selling to, they're all around, right? In the same radius, like 30-mile radius. And here's the thing. That's where a lot of people fuck up. Because a lot of people, they're so fixated with drop shipping and trying to be the next eBay superstar, trying to sell on Amazon, trying to be that guy, right? But they forget.
I wouldn't even be interested in selling on Amazon because every time you get a good listing, Amazon competes against you. It's fucked up.
Yeah. But what a lot of people don't realize is the money is where you're at. Like if you can't sell product around you, you shouldn't be selling product online. Because see, selling product online is the second option. It's the second tier of your income stream. The first tier is, hey, can I go to a flea market and make $1,000 every weekend? Now, let's be real. It's not going to happen for everybody immediately. But what will happen is you'll go to a flea market. Listen, I used to think flea markets was for bums. I used to be like, and I'm talking about people.
No, I see the vision there. Believe me, like I said, when I lived in Sacramento, there was a big fucking farmers market and flea market in Denio in Louisville. I don't know if you went there or remember it at all when you were in Cali.
Yeah, I remember the flea markets though. Yeah.
But there's a big ass flea market up in Puyallup every Saturday. So my thought process is, if I do this courier thing, my understanding is you can make about $1.50 to $2.50 a day, hustling hard. Okay. while I'm doing that, I can potentially be, hitting up stores, to and from, etc., to connect with and potentially sell, face to face products and have them start selling it. And, on the weekends, on Saturdays, there's a big flea market up there at I was still stuck in Stack, up there by Puyallup.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on every Saturday. So I could, start doing the flea market on Saturdays, running the courier stuff for, a couple days, or 2, 3, 4, whatever days a week to generate money for running back and forth, and then be, meeting and connecting and potentially start selling products through various stores along the way. And then realistically, because I'm going to be busy, if I'm making $1.50 to $2.50 in a day running courier while I'm promoting this stuff face to face, I'll just pay for a fucking automation and let you guys build my shop out.
Yeah, exactly, because it becomes where you're outsourcing, and outsourcing is where I think outsourcing is that next step. That's where people take the next step. The problem is, people, they are scared to invest money because they don't believe that they can actually touch it, right? Like, if you're literally going out already, prime example, what you're saying is really smart, but I'm gonna tell you something. I wish young kids had that same thought. If you're doing DoorDash, prime example, right, or Uber Eats, there's no way.
Fucking Lyft or whatever. Yeah.
Right, there's no way you should not be having some products in your trunk, and every time that you go to a mom and pop shop, like, hey,
or pump gas or grab a pack of smokes.
Exactly. Always be like, hey, I got this business card. My name is such and such. I own this reselling company or wholesale distributor. You should, and that's why people don't make money. That's why people are broke as fuck, because what people do is they really want it easy. They forget about the simple stuff. Like, I go to Walmart, I go to Target, I go all these places, great. But I also see these places on billboards. I also see these places on commercials. Now, we can't afford all of that, right? Like, I can't afford I've had one, a big billboard right across the street from the busiest highway in Philly. Great. But here's the thing. If I can't afford that right now, what I need to start doing is actually putting my effort into putting some products in the trunk or in the back seat. If I'm doing Lyft, man, what? I'm going to sit there and have products, and I'm going to be connecting. I'm going to go to the most popular place in my location, and I'm going to try and sell. You feel me? Like, I'm going to try and get people to buy in. I'm going to try.
Like you said the other day on video, you're not a fucking octopus. I can go to the flea markets and I can meet face to face, but I can't manage doing the flea market, doing the courier thing, meeting with people face to face, and managing online listings, and do every single thing with 100% efficacy. But if I'm making a 1.5 to 2.5 a day, like 1 day a week, maybe 2 is paying for my fucking automation for the week.
Exactly, and that's where.
And I know you're not guaranteeing return, but let's face it, if I do it for 4 to 6 weeks, I'm gonna start having some fucking results.
Yeah, and you're going to start having results, and the results that you have, it's like you can't be content with it, and that's where I think, just me personally, that's where I see people get so content, right? So we have that eBay automation, for example, which the eBay automation is great, but it's like, okay, if I only seen one person do it right. If I see that with eBay automation, I'm making money, right? And I only see one person. I have a bunch of people doing it, but I only see.
Are we talking about the guy that you were telling me that does the contests where people do like not ballots? That's not the right word.
Yeah, raffles.
Raffles. Thank you. I'm still stuck on November 5th.
So Adam did it.
Is that who was doing that? Was Adam or?
Why is my phone? Adam, he was doing pretty good. I think with Adam, it was like he was doing great, but the problem is when you're thrifting, it don't really work out because you can thrift as much as you want and find products, right?
Won't always find products though.
You won't always find lucrative products, and
Right.
sometimes you're gonna find trash, and sometimes it's the end game basically. Like I find that the most money that you
Sell through rate might become a problem where you're finding product but it's slow.
it moves that's 100% every time. Like every time you are reselling products from thrift stores and you're trying to find products, like I don't do that. Now the reason I don't do it is because I've done it before and I've seen how unproductive it can be. But what I was saying was, as far as seeing somebody do it the right way, is when your store gets traction, whether it's eBay store or whether it's even in person, that's when you put your foot on the motherfucking gas. The problem is people they see results, and I used to be like this. I used to see results, and when I see the result, I'm like, oh yes, results. I can sit back and chill. Or oh yeah, I got one store willing to wholesale with me. Now I'm going to focus all my attention on that one store. No, because that one store could be trying to work with you for the wrong reasons. They could be trying to just sit there and test it out, and if it doesn't get the results that they feel it should get, then they might get a little upset. They might stop trying to work with you. It all depends, right? So that's why I try to tell people to make sure that instead of being a thrifter and being that person or being that guy that wants to say, "Oh yeah, I resell everything," don't have don't have that approach to where you become a one-stop shop. Don't, because being a one-stop shop does not make you money. It makes you inconsistent.
Unpack that a little bit. What do you mean being a one-stop shop?
So being a one-stop shop is this, like how, prime example, how I sell electronics. Everybody knows I sell electronics. Now I have the capability to sell bleach, sell wipes, face masks, gloves, anything, to be honest. Like I have a video coming out showing toys. I have the ability to sell toys. I have.
I love where you shared recently, like you're gonna get Christmas lights and shit. That's badass.
That's another thing. Christmas lights, but I've been had the plugs to all of that. But you'll never see me 100% diving into it and just like you won't see me listing lights. Like I have eBay accounts nobody knows about because if I was to showcase, hey guys, I'm on Mercari selling this, it diminishes my brand. You can't be a one-stop shop of everything. You can't sell the bleach, the brooms, the all of that, and think that people are going to take you serious. They're not.
Now, do you have other as far as maintaining separate association? Do you have somebody doing that for you, so to speak, or do you just have like a faceless channel where you're selling the other things?
I have a faceless channel, and yeah, I have a whole team of people that do it just like they do eBay automation, right? So that's how I came up with eBay automation is because I had somebody automating my business and my stuff, and I saw that result, and then I was like, oh, I got to deliver this to other people. I was like, how much do you guys want to get paid per account and all that?
Yeah, it's a brilliant model. I love it. Now, let me ask you this: as far as once you get somebody on board, as a local shop, how often are you reaching out to them? Are you just calling like once a week, once every other week? Are you dropping by? What's your thought process there as far as checking in with them and maintaining connection, that kind of thing?
But yeah.
And also, how do you when you sell them stuff? Assuming they come on, once they come on board, are you generating them like a receipt via PayPal, or how do you go about that outside of PayPal, etc.?
Yeah, great questions. So I'll unpack them as I remember them. So because those are really good questions. So number one, visit wise, you have to understand when you start working with people around you in your area, they're your employees at this point. Now let me explain to you why. If somebody buys a wholesale product box from me, and let's say they go and sell products to stores around them, then you have to see them weekly because you have to motivate them. And I think this is something just in general I have to do a better job with. And I'm my biggest critic, right? Like if I sell a bunch of product boxes to people, but like I don't necessarily check up on them, right? Unless they join a community or they're in a Discord or they DM me, but I don't personally check up on them because it's a bunch, right? But the smart version of myself would or should have just said, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to have somebody hired that can effectively micromanage this to make sure everybody is good. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so like maybe after you build up a number of shops, have a VA contact them on a once a week basis and check in with them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's sort of kind of
in the short term. Then you're thinking reach out about once a week and just check in with them.
even
Hey, I'm here.
I'm gonna tell you why. So you're gonna reach out to them, but you're also I would personally go and see them. Now this is why because here's where the game changer comes in mindset. I can't let you mess up what I got. So, and I'm gonna explain it. We see a bunch of companies out there, and we think that they just market and promote on that simplistic morals that we all have. No. If somebody has your product that you provided in their store, you need to make sure that they are treating those products with respect.
Right. Keep your hands on the pulse, so to speak.
You have to make sure exactly my products are good on the shelf. I got to make sure that the products are clean. Like I hate a dusty ass phone or a dusty ass product, and you got my products all dusty, but the cigarettes and all of that stuff in the back look nice. Now you're making my stuff look bad, right? Same thing with people that own ATMs and vending machines. Go in and check on your stuff because that is your brand. And also on packages, I would have little stickers with my website on each package. And that's further down the line. But
I hadn't even thought about that. That's kick ass.
Yeah, so
your idea about the business cards whenever you do a sale too. That's good.
Yeah, so this is how I make multiple different ways of income on and get a bunch of customers from different ways because I don't depend on shit. Like I inspect what I expect. So if I give you products and you take those products and sell them in your store, I have to go in every week or maybe every 2 weeks, depending on your schedule. And I got to make sure that you got my shit on the shelf, top shelf, or wherever we make an agreement. But you got to make sure that it is actually up to the right level that your business is trying to uphold. If you're
stickers, where would you get those? Like Vista printers and shit?
So just starting out, I'll get them from Staples, and I'll print them myself. Or yeah, you can get them from Vista Print. I'm trying to remember where.
What would you print them with? Like, I mean, I have a laser printer, but what software would you use to print out the
Avery?
Avery?
Yeah, it's the Avery envelope. I gotta look for because I haven't used those in a long time. But it's like these envelopes where the people that make body butters and all the lotion and stuff. They're using these labels. Oh, Uline too. Uline is a good one.
Yeah, we both know how much you love Uline.
Yeah. So, but these type of cadences and behaviors can make you thousands of dollars every week instead of being a little reliant on eBay and Amazon and all of these places. If you literally sit there and be like, you know what, fuck it, like I'm not gonna put my stuff in their hands. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go to the corner store I go to every day, or I'm gonna go to the gas station. I put my gas in my card every day, or I'm gonna go up to that pawn shop that I pass next to the wine and spirits. Like when you start thinking like that, you start actually making your brand known to the point that somebody's going to have to respect it. And all you need is one person to respect your brand, and then you can capitalize off of it. You need one location to put products in there.
I
But
know for a fact there's the convenience market down at the corner, literally like shit. I could drive there in 5 minutes from my house right now. They have so much shit in there, electronic stuff, but I'm looking at it and I can tell. I know for a fact, without a question in my head, they're getting all that crap from DHgate or AliExpress or Alibaba because it's all like loose cables and shit, you know.
Thank
Except
you.
there's no packaging, you know. It's all piled up in bins, kind of like thing.
But that's when you walk into the store, you be a boss, and you say, "Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
My name is X, and I just want to let you know something that I observed." Hey, what do you observe? Your products suck, or it depends on the person. Me, I'll be like, "Listen, these products, let me make them better, man. This is what I want you to do. I want you, and this is what I would say. I want you to take 5 of these chargers or whatever you got, right? I want you to take, I don't know, whatever, and I want you to put them in your store. You can keep all the profit. But this is what I want you to do. When, let's say, the end of the week happens or whatever time frame you want. After that time, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna check in with you, bro. And what I want to do is I want to promote, take a picture, put it on my Facebook or something of my product sitting in your store, right?
Yeah.
You take that, you go ahead, you make a Facebook page, and you say whatever your company's name is, and you put that picture
I
on.
actually already have a Facebook page. I called it Open Heart Electronics.
Perfect. So you put that picture on Open Heart Electronics, and you say our first vendor spot or whatever. Now you have some social proof for free. You also have a connection with a person, even if it don't sell. Let's say it don't sell in the store and they just are because I'll be honest, if they only order from DHgate, it's probably because they don't have either the clientele or they don't have what the clientele needs in in electronic sense. You feel me? So
right. It probably doesn't move super fast. I got you.
yeah. So it's like, hey, listen, I can help it move fast. I can help it move fast because see, then you get into the whole situation to where it's like, all right, listen, now you put my electronics in your store, it's my job to help it move. So what I do is, I'll promote your store.
The other factor is with those bins, I know for a fact the reason that they probably have as much stuff in the store as they do is because, like you said, they ordered in volume because they knew it was going to take a long ass time to get there. So now it's going to take them a while to get it all to move. Whereas potentially, if you give them samples and the things move really quick because the packaging looks nice, the presentation is better, etc., they're going to be able to get more stock on the shelf in a more time expedient manner, so that they don't have as much money tied up in inventory before they're able to turn it around and flip it versus having to order by the boatload from freaking China or Hong Kong or whatever.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's going to make it to where you can, again, you want to make sure that you're putting those pictures up. You want to make sure that you're getting that social proof. You want to make sure that you're testing to actually see if you're doing your part, putting the products in the right place or having the right agreements. Like, you're going to mess up, but like, these are the perfect times and places to mess up, because then it gives you the lesson of failure early, and then you can capitalize off of it. You know what I mean? So
For sure.
that's the approach that I would take every single time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how I know we haven't talked about this yet. How do you handle like the receipt generation aspect of it? Like when you give them once they come on board and say they take a shipment.
Yeah. So I would do PayPal. Just do a PayPal invoice. Also, go to the dollar store or go to Walmart or whatever store you have and get the pamphlet of written receipts. But I would do, me personally, I would do an electronic invoice, and I would create an email for my business to just have receipts sent there. And I would do PayPal, and every single time they placed an order, I would ring that order out via invoice. I would make sure that
Yeah, because PayPal is what, 3.5%, if I remember correctly.
yes, I believe 3.5%. I'm not sure the exact amount, but I think 3.5%. But I do know too that's worth it because the
Yeah, no,
invoicing
no
system.
dispute. I mean, Jesus, Square and Stripe, I think, charge 3% too. So it's not
Yeah, but Square and Stripe, they'll have that shit taken down and eventually, and they'll hold your money eventually. They
Oh
just
yeah, I remember you talking about that.
yeah, I wouldn't
That
do
was
that.
Stripe, wasn't it?
Yeah, with Stripe. You want a company that is going to be um, in the states, and also a company that a bunch of businesses are working with right now. Stripe is cool, but Stripe they are inconsistent. PayPal is very consistent. That's
Yeah,
one thing.
I know. My wife, when she started her cleaning business here early this year, we were using we were using Stripe
Yeah.
to transact because that's how they taught her to do it. You know,
How was that experience?
it wasn't bad so far. Basically, what we would do is when we set up the cleaning, we would pre-bill the charge based upon the scope of work,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't charge it, but it would have it would verify that the funds were available on the credit card via Stripe,
Yeah.
and then as soon as the cleaner had finished the job and the owner had like walked through the house or whatever and seen that everything was copacetic, and said, yeah, everything looks great, thank you very much, etc. Um, they would go ahead and okay it, and then we would bill Stripe for the
Yeah.
money. It was 3%, and then of course what we would do is we'd reach out to the person and say, I'm really glad you had, like you say, multiple touch points. We'd reach out and say, glad you had a great experience. If you don't mind, could we send you a link so you can give us a review for Google Business Profile? So that way we're building up brand and credibility, like you always talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Yeah, and maybe that was a better experience because we were working with a service-based business versus product-based business. Maybe that's why we didn't have the shit show that you dealt with.
Yeah. That's exactly why. Service-based business is going to be 10 times more easier.
Yeah.
Because you're providing a service that is a physical, it's physical. So it's something that somebody's receiving physically immediately, and giving that okay. So it's not much to track, but yeah, that's good.
Yeah, the only real tracking on it, like I said, is once it's done, you gotta have a walkthrough with the cleaner and say, hey, everything looks great.
Yeah. No, that's good. That is really, really good. But yeah, so that's how I would handle it. That's a lot of information, but that's a lot of good information, and those are really, really great questions.
Yeah.
Anything else? Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. This is kind of on the same. This is kind of a question regarding like the online sale, which, like I said, I'm really looking towards. If I do this, I'm really looking towards doing automation while I do this, face to face, so that I'm not, like you said, not an octopus. Um, but when it comes to listing, like I watched you the other day on Mercari,
Yeah.
um, where you were listing and getting views and likes right away. When you're doing research,
Mm-hmm.
um, what is it that you're looking for on the sold listings that pop out to you or jump out of the screen? Is there certain things that you're specifically looking for, or is this just kind of you've done this for so long that it comes natural? I mean,
What am I looking for? So, like,
like I know you said one of the things you liked during the videos. You said you liked obviously. I laughed. I laughed on that video where you squalled bloody murder about that dude taking pictures in the bathroom.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Like I know you said when you're taking pics, you want a clean background, you don't want some cheesy ass bathroom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But also you said something about like you like pictures where there's a hand in the photo. I mean, I'm just trying to get my thoughts wrapped around like what your specific types of things you look for specifically.
So when I'm looking at a post and I'm trying to like figure out, hey, I want to resell a product. So number one, I'm going to reiterate things you already know. Like I don't take pictures of products. That's a waste of time, right? Like that to me, taking a picture of a product, taking my time out to actually try and take a picture of something I already own when it's on the internet already and it's already sold already, and I can just take it from that is absurd to me. Like I'm gonna always copy a picture. Now,
No, yeah, between either Canva or Pixlr as far as being able to remove app logos and shit.
yeah,
I totally get it. Not knowing about that before, I was like, how the hell do I find the pictures sometimes that don't have logos? But that's no longer even a hang up, obviously.
yeah, and also just to let you know, with Canva, you can create catalogs. So you can go ahead and say product catalog, and you can create like a little catalog, just like how Walmart or Target has, and that's what you can walk around with too at stores. And that's just a little side tip. But anyway, because remember how we were talking about how you didn't know how it was useful, and as we're talking, I'm thinking about it like, yeah, you can actually do that. You can create catalogs. You can put those
Oh,
pictures.
you're talking about creating a catalog on Canva to share with my
Yeah,
marketing stores. Oh, I
yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Love that.
So, I look for one pictures, good ass pictures. I also look for a price point. I want to make sure that the product that I'm relisting is close to the price point I'm trying to sell. So like if I'm trying to sell a MagSafe charger and the price of that MagSafe charger is $48, I'm not going to even copy that listing because I already know I'm not listing my charger at $48. So
Right.
I'm gonna list.
You've been listing yours 13 and a half to 15, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
1350 is the sweet spot right now for me when it comes to that. And I don't, as you see, I don't change or budge unless the market tells me to, because I'm a real true believer of not changing something if it's working, right? I'm very much, and I learned this about myself. I'm very much, which is interesting, stuck in if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm a very analytical person. So
Yeah,
if
I get it.
if something sells for around the same price that I'm trying to sell, I'm gonna always look at that post. I'm gonna take the pictures, but if the pictures have a logo, yeah, I can get rid of the logo. But what if the pictures have a nasty ass background and look like I don't take care of my house, or it looks like your products are stored in a bando or a trap house? I'm not cool with that. You know what I mean?
Stored
So
in a what? A bando?
a bando, that's where they sell drugs. So
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, like I want to make sure that my product is always represented, the right way. So that's why like I'll take pictures from another post and then put it in Frankenstein. I'll take pictures from a post, a price from another post, a description from one. But the way I pick out a main one is mainly price. What price did it sell for? That's really the first thing I look at, and then I look at pictures, and I look at description. So that's how I handle them off. That answers your question.
Yeah, for sure. And then like you said, having you said you like it when there's a hand in the pic because it personalizes it or connects better.
Yeah. So if you're selling AirPod reps or you're selling um Max, yeah, any handheld product, even a device, a phone, you want to make sure if you could to put a picture that has a hand in it because it makes it seem as if you actually touched it. It's tangible. Now, a lot of these products are tangible to us, right? Like I have a whole bunch of products, and let's say if I was to list a 20 pack charger set, right, a bundle. If I just have these charging bundles on a table, I blend in just with the next person. But if I have this bundle and I'm holding it in my hand, it can stimulate the person's mind for them to understand and know, oh, that could be my hand. That could be me holding that. So like that's just like a little marketing tip that I use that I've actually
Oh
learned.
no, there's a lot of times where I watch you do listing videos and I'm sitting there with a notepad like, listening to what you say. I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Mm-hmm. So like that's sort of kind of where I would go looking for listings in that manner. So yeah, yep. That's how I pick them out.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, how are you? I know for a while we were having problems sometimes with mail theft. Was that a situation that with automation that you since have seen fade away? Was it somebody that you were dealing with at USPS that was making shit disappear? What's the insight there? Because I know for the longest time, I would say, especially on Mercari, when I was doing when I was having you guys ship them and I'd send the labels,
Yep.
it seemed like about maybe 10 to like maybe 20% of the time, I'd have the client, state that they never got it, and when I did check on the tracking, I could never find the damn product. So I don't know what somebody on the inside of USPS was stealing shit or what the deal was. That's why I got to where I was so obsessed with shipping in like a physical box versus like a bubble mailer because I felt like it gave a little bit more anonymity and security when I was doing shipping. Admittedly, it's a little bit higher cost, but
Yeah.
that's when I mentioned. That's when I mentioned. That's when I mentioned buying like a 50-pack of boxes from Uline, to where you could just throw your electronics in said box and package it up and ship it by a pirate ship. Has that still been a problem at all, or has that gone away? What's going on there?
So so that was like what, 2 years ago or a year ago or
Yeah, I want to say about a year ago
yeah.
because we started doing that, if memory serves, around July, August of last year.
Okay. So in the beginning of this year, we acquired a warehouse, and I was able to actually get it to where it's a physical factory, basically assembly line type of thing, where they ship out my products for me, and they don't necessarily ship it out. They actually have the USPS man come in and watch him scan in the packaging, and that gets him on camera. Um, so instead of us going to the post office and dropping off products consistently, now they're picking them up. When they pick them up, they become more responsible for it.
There's an established chain of possession, so to speak.
And that's what I love about the process with the eBay and Mercari automation is that we had to learn so many different, pain points. Because listen, if you go to a post office every single day with 50 plus packages, you're bound to have some missing. You're bound to have some people saying that they didn't get them. You're bound to have a bunch of fraud and scam because. I'm just saying, and that's why I don't like. That's why if you look at like a T-Mobile or an AT&T, they don't take the packages to the post office. The post office comes and picks them up, and that is the reason. It's because they become responsible. You actually can when you walk into a post office, you can see yourself. Well, they can see you on the camera, but they're not going to go that far. They're not going to do that investigation. But it has nothing to do with me pulling the camera and now showing you the footage of Bob coming in taking 58 packages, and now I have 2 packages that are not showing. Like that's an issue. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was just wondering because I was like, damn, man, it was getting so frustrating because I saw the advantage of the automation, but I was like, damn, I can't afford to keep losing 15 to 20, 25% sometimes of packages. So I'm glad to hear that the warehouse is such a game changer for that.
Yeah, and it's not really just the warehouse; it's just honestly them picking it up, and that is where I think it's a game changer, but it's also something that happens in business where that's a really good point, where you actually have to like realize that it's a learning process. And like when you go with your wholesale to go and talk to these stores, you're gonna have a learning process, right? So you're gonna have a process to where you're like, oh, I can't drop the products off on the counter because if I do, somebody might take some. You just start to realize like little different techniques that work and ones that don't. But yeah.
Presumably, my thought process on that would be to generate a invoice via PayPal, print it out, and then just have the owner, sign for it when I hand them the supplies, as
Yeah.
it were.
No, yeah, that would work. That sounds actually feasible. I think that would work. I do.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
When I'm selling to a retail spot, so to speak, I know that your margin is pretty small because you're dealing in volume, and presumably over time I'll be dealing volume. What's your
Mhm.
thought process as far as turnaround markup when I'm getting them from We Supply? What do you think is the price point that we're looking for to be connecting with at the local shops?
Um, Price up. So marking products up, basically. So if I get it for $2, what's my markup rate? Is that what you're saying? What's my profit margin?
Right, like okay, say for example, one of those 10 foot charge cords. I think those things retail for what, like 15 to 20 bucks usually.
Yeah.
So what would you mark them up? Because I know I'm getting them from you for I want to say like three and a half a piece. I think.
Yeah. So the smaller, if the product costs under $10, you want to make the profit margin anywhere between 45%. Hold on. Between, just trying to remember. It's between like 65 and 75% markup. If it is a more expensive product, you want the markup to be between 45 and 55. So think about it like this, because I always get confused with this. I always get confused explaining it. If I have a charging cord that costs me $3 to acquire, my profit or my markup percentage is going to be margin wise. Is going to be I'll probably put it at I'll play around with it. I might do 65% because if I mark that
Yeah,
up,
look. I'm looking at my calculator right now. $3 item at 65%. You're doing about $1.95 in profit.
yeah, so you're gonna do a dollar, but do 75.
Do something what?
Do 75%. Can you do 75%?
Yeah, hold on a second. So that'd be 2.25.
Okay, so 225 off of a $3 charger. Perfect. So that would be my markup because what I would do is I would not sell that with by just selling it individually. I'm going to be focused on selling that um in a bundle.
Maybe a 10 pack.
Yeah, exactly. A 10 pack. Yep. Yeah. Like those type of accessories you don't really sell individually unless you have a storefront. Because if I got a storefront, I'm charging somebody $5 for the no, we're talking about $3 ones. So 10. So I'm charging somebody probably like $8.50, $10. Um, I would charge somebody $10, but I would say it's a sale, and I would mark it down to $8.50 per charger.
Right. I got you.
Yeah,
Oh, as far as them being able to put it on sale to move it.
exactly. Yeah, or me myself. Yep.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
On the packaging element with the charge cords, because I know that a lot of those don't necessarily come in charge cords. What's the thought process there? Do you I know like the fast charge cables come in a box, but I know the majority of the other ones come in like big bags.
Oh, so I have little white envelopes that products can go into that they can hang up on a wall, or like I have it's a white back. It's like a little plastic white back, but in the front is plastic clear, so you can see what's in the packaging. Um, and you can put the bundles in there. right? Like you can put the cords in there, put a little sticker, get a sticker from the dollar store, get a pack of stickers, like pricing stickers, and then you just put the price on there, and you can sell it
Yeah, I gotcha.
bundle, bundle wise that way.
Where do you get those packages like you're talking about with the clear front and all?
So I have them at my warehouse. So what I would do is
Oh,
I'll probably like charge like 20% each, like nothing too crazy.
oh, okay. So that would be something where I make like, hey, can I get,
Yeah,
for example,
exactly.
a 40 or 50 pack of this charge cord, and
Yeah,
can we put it
exactly.
in can we put them in individual box package or whatever?
Exactly. Yup.
Okay, okay, outstanding. I didn't know if that was a service that you guys did at all. That's why I was
It's a
asking.
lot of services we do that I just haven't put out, but yeah, that's
Well,
definitely
no, it's
one.
awesome. I love hearing about this shit. If it makes everybody's job easier, let's face it.
Right, right, right. No, you're right. You're definitely right.
And like you said, presentation when you're selling it out of the storefront versus at like a flea market or something.
It's important. It's very
It, it,
important.
it adds a certain level of eye appeal to make the product move better, etc.
Exactly. And it also gains you brand recognition and respect. And, you could also put a business card in the back of it so that when they open it, they see the business card.
Yeah, I love that idea.
So, like, those are things that, I would definitely do for sure. What else you got?
Um, I wanted to touch base a little bit about some things we talked about before. I know you kind of answered one of them previously, I think, because I was talking to you about like how is it that you're getting how you're getting connections from various cell phone stores, and you indicated that the reason you were able to tap into that is because of your previous association with T-Mobile and Sprint.
Right.
So that's not necessarily something that I could lean into. But you had mentioned earlier when you started talking about the 16 Pro Maxes and the trade-in values at stores outside of cell phone stores. Um, how were you talking about that? Like, say for example, that I'm able, when hypothetically speaking, let's say I'm able to pick up a 12 Pro Max, whether I pick it up from marketplace or offer up, or even partnered with or even partnered with like a pawn shop, for example.
Yeah.
What are you talking about when you're talking about like the trade in value of stores, as far as what's the advantage there and what are you doing?
Hmm. So you're asking me what am I doing as far as if I go to a pawn shop and
Right,
I I tell them how much to buy the phone for?
right. Like once you've got the phone in your hand, you were talking about trade-in values. Now, are you just taking these phones potentially when you say trade-in value? Are you taking these to local cell phone stores and
Hold on, Andy,
trading?
1 second. Hold on.
Oh, no problem.
Hey Paris, happy birthday. 1 second.
No problem. I can't hear you. I'm standing by.
No, no, you're fine. All right, I'm back. All right.
What were you saying? I heard something about a birthday.
Oh no, I was telling my son. I was talking to him.
Oh, okay. No
Yeah, it's
worries.
my son's birthday. But
It's your son's birthday?
yep, yep.
Oh, that's awesome. Mine's on the 14th.
Oh yeah, nice.
No shit. No shit. Yeah. My youngest is born on August the 8th, and I'm born November 14th.
That's crazy. I'm born on August 3rd, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember I sent you
Yep, yep,
August saying happy birthday. My son's in 5 days. Remember?
yep, yep, yep.
Well, tell your son I said, hi. Is this Gabe?
No, this is Paris.
Oh, okay. Well, tell Paris I said happy birthday.
Thank you. Okay, I definitely will. I appreciate it. Okay, so oh yeah, so when it comes to like when I go to a pawn shop and let's say the pawn shop is because I'm trying to understand, the pawn shop is picking up phones for us basically, right? They're buying the phones and then we're picking them up.
Basically, in this model, I'm telling them, hey, if you can pick up phones for me, I come up, 2, 3 times a week, pick up the phones for you, cash you out, and then I'm taking the phones and I'm either selling them on the website idea like we talked about.
Right.
B, I'm potentially selling them to a direct buyer if the price point makes sense and I can make a decent profit, particularly if I'm able to pick up multiple phones. Because like you said, if I'm only making $50 per phone, but I'm picking up 5 phones at this point now, makes sense.
Right.
Or C, you talked about trade-in value right now with the new phone model. So I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Are you taking the phone into a cell phone store and trading it in towards a new model and utilizing multiple phones to do that, or you have a new
Oh, you're talking about how I have connections with phone stores like AT&T, T-Mobile, and I have them giving me trade-in phones, right? That's what you're talking about.
Well, I'm talking about, you had mentioned trade-in value, and my understanding was
So yeah,
not just getting phones from them, but also, maybe I misunderstood, trading in phones to them. That's what I was trying to.
so okay, perfect. All right, so you can't. So all right, no, you don't want to do that. The reason you don't want to do that is because you would need a multitude of accounts. So you would need a account to do a trade in, right? And you might be like, well, I can do it on my account. No, you can't, because if you do, you have to have lines basically to put the trade ins towards, and then be able to get another phone. And let's just say that phone is for free, and then they'll be doing a little credit to you every single month. But regardless, it wouldn't be feasible to do that on a consistent basis. But what I do have is I have people at AT&T and T and people at T-Mobile that instead, when a customer wants to come in and trade their phones, instead of trading their phones to them, they'll trade their phones into me. They'll say, hey, well, T-Mobile they're offering this amount, but I have a buyback partner that's offering a higher amount. What you could do is you could take this card and you would call him and he will cash at you the money for whatever said device. You know what I mean? That's sort of kind of what I have. But when it comes to trade-ins, I don't. If I was to go to a pawn shop right now and I was to pick up a phone phones from a pawn shop, my main thing is, okay, I pick these phones up, I'm gonna sell them to a wholesale buyer way more than it would be to a consumer, even though I could, like, I may do that now during the holidays, but I honestly would think about it as, okay, I got these phones, I need to get rid of them as soon as possible, because there's a bunch of different people I have not met that traded these phones or gave these phones to the pawn shop. So like, I don't like buying phones that I don't know where they came from. It becomes a bit sticky.
Oh, you're talking about as far as if I'm picking up phones from the cell phone shop, you would lean towards direct buyers because you don't know how long the phone might, have problems with it because of where it came from before, kind of thing.
Yeah, like you don't know if the speaker actually works on that phone. You don't know if the camera actually works on that phone. So you may go ahead and try to sell to consumers, but if you try to sell all those phones from that pawn shop got, it's like it could be defective, and then you got to go back to the pawn shop, and now you got to say, hey, you guys picked up a defective phone that it did work, but now the phone shuts off because it was water damage in the phone, or the battery had an issue, and then you just have that whole problem basically.
I'm assuming though, when I'm working with a cell phone shop, I would probably make sure that the cell phone or the pawn shop folks have a pretty decent idea of how to inspect a phone too.
Yeah, but you still can't trust that. You still can't trust it because they're buying that phone to sell to you. They're not buying that phone to actually, like, they're not going to care as much as you would. Like, you're right. But like, I would think that with employees too, right? Like, okay, guys, inspect these phones when you buy the phones because you're buying these phones with my money, so please be cautious. But what happens is they're not really being cautious because it's not their money.
Well,
Like,
the other thought process I had
Yeah. No, yeah, that would work. I mean, but again,
Yeah.
T-Mobile has that
I think
too.
I'm not going to say it's 100%, but it's a safety net to
Yeah.
make sure that they're looking through the various steps. Like, did you turn it on? Did you make sure it's not a clone?
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, exactly. But again, like, yeah, it will work. But when you start getting a lot of phones, I'm being like, I'm being the I'm thinking in the worst case scenario. And
Right, you're playing devil's advocate. I appreciate that.
yeah, that's the word. Yeah, I'm playing devil. That's the phrase. I'm playing devil's advocate because it's like, well, as much as I want to trust people, I just know for a fact not to, right? Because it's just people when they're not when they know they have a cell for a phone, they're not as observe. They don't observe as much as they really should. Not everybody pays attention to details. Yeah.
I'm super detail oriented, so it can be maddening.
No, yeah, me too. Trust me, I get you. I agree completely.
Okay. So the trade-in value thing was something where you were working with the local stores. My understanding when you were talking about that was when you said there's a lot of money to be made on trade-in value. My thought process was you were taking phones that you were picking up and trading them in towards a new phone, and that's what you meant by trade-in value, because it blows me away how much trade-in value they give you towards new phones with some of those older phones.
Well, yeah, and don't get me wrong, like that is true, but you also have to think they do give you that trading value, but they give it to you in it has a stipulation to it. Like they want the ultimate reason they want to give you that trading value is because they want you to get that service. So that's why that trading value is pretty healthy because they're thinking in the long term, hey, if I let this person trade this phone in, they'll stay with me for another year. You know what I mean? Like we'll still have them because even if you trade the phone to get another phone, you still have to stay with that company. They don't unlock that phone. So they keep that phone locked for a whole year or 2 years or whatever your financial plan is just to keep you. You know what I mean? So that's sort of kind of where it gets sticky.
They're basically setting the hook going, okay, we got you.
Exactly, yeah. It's all a facade, basically, right? So it's something that just literally, yeah. It's here just to get you. It's here just to get you.
So you mentioned, and I suspect this is part of the same thing, but you mentioned it in passing briefly, and I wrote it down because I didn't know what it meant. You mentioned buyback partners and MCR. What the hell is that?
MCR buyback partners. What you mean?
You specifically mentioned buyback partners and MCR trade-ins, and I didn't know what the hell that meant.
Well, you got to give me context of when I said it because that might be like
I
what
think
is
you were still, if memory serves, I think you were still talking about trade-in values, and you said specifically under the word NCR or MCR. I'm not sure what it meant. You said trade-in, you mentioned buyback partners, NCR. I don't know if you were talking about the thing where you're working with local cell phone stores or what that was. I just know you said MCR trade-ins. So I don't know if that rings a bell or what that was about.
You talking about MRC?
Maybe it was MRC. I just remember something MCR or MRC. Something
So
like
MRC is monthly recurring charge, and that has to do with that has to do with cell phone companies. That has to do with like partnering with a store and getting paid. You getting paid from somebody's bill. Also, you're not getting paid just by somebody's phone. You're getting paid MRC, which stands for monthly recurring charge. So monthly recurring charge is basically if your bill is $70, then the monthly recurring charge is $70. But if somebody's eating off of that $70, T-Mobile's not just getting that full $70. They're paying other people out of that to for a certain amount of time. Basically, it's a contract. So if I provide used phones to T-Mobile and they are selling it as refurbished, they'll pay me a monthly recurring charge for up to 3 months, and then I won't see any more. But they'll be like, oh, I'll pay you $30 probably to give us phones in this model, and I'll get paid every month. Plus, they'll buy the phone outright, but I'll get paid that commission from MRC. But that's not really anything relevant currently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like a sexy model though, being able to actually get recurring plus sell the phone up front.
Oh, it is, but it is. It definitely is. It's just it's not something that it's not something that everybody could do because you need a license to do it.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering. What the barrier to entry was. Okay.
Yeah, you need a license. You need to be approved. You need to have that. A lot of it is all you just gotta have a certain connection and all this other BS. It's all political.
I'm assuming when you say license, you're talking like a cell phone provider license, basically.
You have to know a partner master, and that partner master has to then sign you up under them, and then you get essentially a part of their license that they have. T-Mobile appoints certain people to be master agents, and those master agents can make you an agent under them, and they get paid off of you. So that's basically what that is.
All right, and then maybe this kind of goes into that same kind of stuff again. Questioning because I hear you mention this, and I'm wondering, what the accessibility is, and if I could potentially be involved in that respect. You'd mentioned using when getting phones. You mentioned specifically using business credit or CPS to get phones. What is that all about? I listened close, bro. I listened close.
Yeah. So when it comes to like the CPN aspect, that is something that I was talking about. I believe when it came to like that method, that new in the box method that you were talking about at one point. That new in the box method was a method that I hypothesized was being used by people that were utilizing CPNs. CPN is a credit privacy number. Everybody knows about CPNs right now because it's a popular thing. But if a lot of people weren't keen to it. A lot of people weren't keen to it in the beginning when it was really popular. But what it is a CPN was used or is used or supposed to be used for somebody trying to protect their identity, somebody special, somebody that has to, like, let's say you're a celebrity. Huh?
Okay. I was saying like somebody who has celebrity status or something.
Exactly. But now what people are doing is they're taking dead people and
okay. So this is scam shit. I didn't realize that that's what you were talking about. Okay.
This is complete scam stuff, and it's not things that technically, you're supposed to do, but it's something that people do in general. Me personally, I think that it's something I wouldn't do, but it's something we all as phone flippers eat off of because
it's in the market and we all deal with it, but we don't necessarily personally deal with
it. Exactly. Like we don't personally deal with that aspect. So we don't really, in essence, have to necessarily get ourselves involved. So I wouldn't even really, worry about it.
I'm not looking to. I was just wondering what the hell you were talking about. I wanted to get some insight on what it was. For me, I like to understand things, why and who and how and what, etc. Things, the way things work, because it gives to me. I'm not somebody who can look. I'm just not a person who can be in a room and have like 5 doors and have everybody go, okay, everything works, but you just can't know anything about that door.
Yeah, exactly. Yup. Exactly.
Even if I don't engage, I have to know about it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if I don't engage, I have to know about it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even if I don't engage, I have to know about it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even if I don't engage, I have to know about it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even if I don't engage, I have to know about it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
hope that makes sense.
No, it makes complete sense.
I assume you're the same way. So
I am very much the same way. I don't honestly feel I want to know everything because I want to also know what I have to protect myself against. You know what I mean?
right, right.
And I
The
think
more
that
knowledge
allows you to know.
the more knowledge you have, the more power to protect yourself. I get that.
Right. And scamming is that's the thing. People don't realize scamming, you can't beat it. You can't beat scams. You can't beat that. Like a lot of people, they want to and they try and oh my god, scamming, no, I would never buy I would never buy a 9-year-old creating an ethics account. The heck? I would never buy a phone from a scammer. Well, a lot of us do. Yeah,
Or I would never buy a blacklist or yada yada, but we do.
exactly. You know, so that's where it's like I know you think that you're too good, but it happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard, forgive the expression, but it seems very appropriate. It doesn't matter how much you dilute it. If there's shit in the soup, there's still shit in the soup.
Exactly. And the thing is, you walk around acting like the shit is too good or your shit don't stink, then you'll start to realize you're broke because I buy a lot of phones from a lot of scammers and they don't tell me, hey, I just scammed somebody. They don't tell me. I just assume. You know what I mean? I just assume.
And presumably, if they're bringing you a phone or two phones every effing week, you know some shit's up.
Exactly. Exactly. So
what's the deal with the business credit? Are they just opening? Are they basically filing a business and then getting lines of credit and buying it on the business and then dumping the business license, basically?
no, they're just creating an EIN and then creating a business account. And then once they create that business account, they go and get it. They get it. They get an articles of incorporations, and then they just create an account. But I don't know. I don't think they do that. I think what they do is they just get somebody with the business, and then they just promise them, hey, like I can get you some money, and they promise them, a lower amount than what they're actually getting, if that makes sense.
It harkens back to the 70s. I don't know if you've ever heard of a gentleman by the name of Michael Francesi.
Sounds familiar.
He's a former member of the Colombo Mafia family. He was a Capo regime.
Uh huh.
And he's on YouTube now, but he's been out of the life for many years. What he did back in the 70s and 80s is he would file business paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
And what they would do is they would go and I guess they would get gas and they would set up a gas station, and they would be collecting gas tax, which I guess at the time was a big thing. But you had, I guess, a 30 to 60-day grace period before you had to start coughing the gas tax up, to the feds and such. Well, what he would do is he would establish these gas stations short term, collect the gas tax, and then when the time came to cough up the tax, the gas station would just close down and disappear.
Wow.
And he was making, at the time, he said, I won't lie, I was making fucking money hand over fist. We're talking millions.
Wow. Yeah, see, that's crazy.
Yeah, back in the 70s and 80s, remember, gas was high as shit.
Yeah. That's past my time, but I assumed
it was kind of something similar to that, where people were setting up business paperwork, buying phones and then dumping the business paperwork, because, like, case in point, you and I were talking about an EIN. Every day you can get an EIN on IRS.gov or get somebody to get one for you and then file an LLC and only cost you about $25. But if your business goes in and buys, say, $1,000 to $2,000 worth of phones and then flips them for $5K and then the business dissolves and disappears,
Yeah.
it's gone.
It's gone, and that's that becomes a problem.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like,
So
like I said, if they're shit in the soup.
yeah, and but again, it's very important just to know like what you're getting yourself into. So like I don't blame you for the question. I think that's actually a good question.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So
yeah.
here's a question, because I know, believe it or not, I've been watching and looking, and it's been pissing me off for the longest time. But I think I finally actually found some wholesalers in my area. I know because I've seen them listing multiple phones, and I've seen them, and believe it or not, they were listing, and I can't speak for credibility yet because I haven't, done a transaction with them.
Yeah.
But some of them even had 16s, not base models, but 16 series anyway.
Yeah.
Listed at attractive enough price points where, assuming it was a legit phone, it would make sense to buy from them. So here's my question. When you mentioned people just buying phones by paying taxes and getting free phones, etc., by paying the taxes, how are you keeping eyes on what providers and cell phone stores, etc., are doing that so you know what to watch for? If that makes sense. Is it just a function of you having been involved in Sprint and T-Mobile, so you have your hand on the pulse there, or is it something that you deliberately research every week? How do you keep your eyes on that kind of thing?
Let me get that. I don't really understand it. So I'm trying to understand your question.
Okay, so when people go in and buy a phone, right?
From
You
me.
talk about with the wholesalers.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So when like a wholesaler goes in and they're getting a phone for just paying the taxes.
Okay.
Okay, basically they're getting a free phone, they're paying the taxes up front, they're financing it, right?
Right.
Or they're getting somebody to pick up the phone for them, girlfriend, whatever, or they're offering somebody cash to pick up a phone for them, etc.
Right.
Right? How are you keeping eyes on what providers are doing those kinds of promotions at the moment, or is that just kind of a all the time thing, or is it like, does it rotate between providers? How does it work?
So I don't do that, right? But
right, but you do keep an eye on what providers are selling them for taxes, right?
no,
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I only know because I work in an industry. You get me? Like that's the only reason why I know. But like
okay, so it's a hand on the pulse thing because you're involved in it. Okay.
exactly. So it's not like I'm like, oh, okay, it's free iPhone 13s this month, so I know I'm gonna get X, Y, and Z. No. So what happens is usually 9 times out of 10 there is a promotion every single month, obviously, right? But I have T-Mobile reps that call me and they're like, "Yo, you see the new promo? Like, I'm gonna ship 11 iPhone 13s to your store because I can get you put on this plan." Or did you hear about this? Offer this in your store because of X, Y, and Z. You see what I'm saying? So like, it really is the hand.
They're sending these reps are sending these where now?
They're just calling me. People I know.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So it is very much hand on the pulse. But you can always go to T-Mobile.com and AT&T.com and look at their promos.
And presumably Verizon as well.
Yeah, and Verizon, yeah.
Now I know what a fan you are of AT&T.
Yeah, they suck.
I personally have issues with T-Mobile for something that happened to me years ago. But
Yeah.
my frustration was after I signed a contract, they decided to hike up my price after the contract, and I was really pissed.
Yeah.
This, like I said, this was probably 20 years ago, but I remember shit.
I don't blame you. It's your money.
Outside of the big three, do you see that kind of thing with like smaller, like say for example, Cricket or Consumer Cellular or Metro or that kind of thing, or is it generally always associated with the big three?
Always associated with the big three because the 8 small are only subcontractors of the big three. So essentially, they are not really they're not going to be any different. And I don't usually see phones from those companies at all.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I don't see Metro phones. Metro phones don't have any work to me, so I don't really deal
Right.
with them at all.
Right. No, it makes sense. And I suspected that was kind of the answer you would give. Um, just because I
But
wanted to know.
there is a. I mean, obviously there's a market for it somewhere somehow. I just don't tap into it.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. So that's where I sort of kind of stay away from Androids, not because they're not worth much, but because they devalue. They
I'll
lose
be
value.
honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of tempted to like go down the rabbit hole with Androids and work it out with as much detail as you have with iPhones, because I feel like if I perfect the model with Androids, um, number one, everybody and their brother is always salivating over iPhones. Most people treat Android as
Paris.
complete trash.
Uh huh.
Most people treat Androids like complete trash as a result. So I feel like if you fill that need, so to speak, as far as being able to pick up Androids, you're going to have a lot less competition, even if their pricing does suck.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Um, Daddy just got me the battle pass.
But yeah, so
Um,
it could work. That could work.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I mean, I remember, like you said, a couple of times where I think you said somebody had asked, hey, what will you give me for this? And you're like, honestly, you'd probably be better off just selling it to like a pawn shop or to, a consumer on the marketplace because.
But don't get me wrong, I'll take it. I'll take yeah. I'll take it now.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, they still took. I think you said you bought it for like $1.50, and were able to sell it for like $4 or $5. So
Yeah, exactly.
not bad at all.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's all about knowing. It's all about just knowing how to move the margins, how to use the market value. Like a lot of people, they think that the price list is important just because of the buyers, but it's really not. You really can find a lot of value knowing how much something is worth because
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. Like case in point, like you were talking about the other day, if I do the website and or even sell on eBay, if I'm buying on based on the price list,
yeah,
versus with people when they're pricing it based on what the average three last sales were on eBay.
yeah,
I'm already way ahead. I'm already way ahead of the game because I have a better grasp of what value is right now. So I'm going to be a lot more likely to turn a decent profit, even if I do sell it on eBay.
exactly. Yep, exactly.
The only time you really need to refer to eBay at that point is potentially if it's somebody who brings you something that isn't even on the price list, and you're looking at like, well, what would I even offer if anything to this thing? If that makes sense.
Right. No, that makes complete sense. Exactly. And it's just like, oh my goodness, like a lot of people just sleep on the tools like everybody has. Like there's so many tools around. It's just like, how do I fit this in the right place, right? Like that's really how I envision just life in general. I try to figure out how can I make myself as beneficial to people and their problems as possible. But at the same time, it's very hard because you have to think out of yourself. Like you can't be thinking in your emotions or in what you like or what fits in your perspective. It's more so about um, what helps the consumer, and once you find out what helps the consumer, like if you were to just start selling Androids, I'm gonna tell you this. I mean, buying Androids. If you were just to start buying Androids, you would start to essentially it would be hard, but you would close a whole gap that nobody really is trying to saturate, right? Like you would just start to execute on a niche that, you know, a lot of people are not drilling down on.
Yeah, because like you say, in my experience, what I've found, unless you can find wholesalers, what I've found in my personal experience, doing reach outs, I'm only closing about 5%.
Wow.
So up here it's rough. So to me, 10 reach outs a day, I'm going to be hitting a lot of days before I'm able to hit a phone. So reach outs, I would have to do realistically more like 30 to 50 a day,
Mhm.
to be able to get my hands on phones, etc.
Yeah.
Unless, so like I said, if I find a team of wholesalers, like you built out a list, and that's what I've been like. Like I said, I found some and I started a list. Like I wrote down their names and I followed them on offer up at Facebook so that I can keep an eye on what they're listing and such.
Yeah.
Because what I wanted to, I even got one of their numbers so I could reach them directly. That makes more sense for me. Now, you mentioned something, the catalog on Canva. What is that situation? How do you build a catalog? Are you just designing a series of pages and connecting it, or how?
Yeah, it has a template already for you. So you just type in product catalogs and it will have, like, you know, just a regular catalog with stock pictures, and you just replace the stock pictures with the pictures of the products that you want to put on there, and then you just literally edit the form. That's all it is. You literally just edit the form.
Love that. Love that. That's awesome.
So like that's like, I bring that up because it's very, it can change a lot. Um, it can help a lot, you know. That simple
Yeah.
thing.
Are you still planning to do a video where you kind of cover some of the elements of utilizing Canva for?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that
flipping
today.
and reselling?
I'm gonna do that today.
Yeah.
It's gonna come out this week. Because
Awesome.
Educated Hustler, that channel is gonna be geared towards that type of stuff, like helping people do back office stuff, and then Hustler Taught Me is gonna be more geared towards teaching people how to resell a phone flip. But
Yeah.
Educated Hustler is gonna be how to do certain tips and tricks, or giving tips and tricks, and like little things, like, you know, how we're speaking of right now, you know, how to now let me ask you,
Yeah.
in your opinion, is what do you want to learn with Canva?
Well, I know you talk, like, okay, case in point, the other day I created a Facebook page because I heard you talking about, using Canva to promote stuff. I created a Facebook page, and I actually, um, I actually went to ChatGPT because I know you mentioned AI being useful,
Yeah.
and I typed into ChatGPT, hey, if I was a consumer electronics store selling, like charge cords, adapters, and other small consumer electronics, could you generate a Facebook post that I could share on social media?
Mm-hmm.
And it came, and I said, give me a list of 5. And it gave me a list of 5, and I posted that, I posted what it came up with, the first post that it came up with, because I liked it. I posted on Facebook. And I was thinking about it, I said, well, this kind of makes sense because, like, where I'm at, we have a lot of community Facebook groups
Yeah.
for, like, the town.
Yeah.
Like, for example, there's a town nearby me called Packwood, which is like, I want to say like 500 to 800 people.
Yeah.
So I could be posting as Open Heart Electronics, you know what I mean? In that Facebook community group, to where, like, hey, if you're interested in, hit me up, whatever kind of thing. And even over time, like you said, if I build a site, have it linked to the site where they can buy directly from that site. If that makes sense.
No, yeah, it does. It does. No, that makes
So
complete
as
sense.
far as what I was looking to learn from Canva, I know you mentioned like reels and thumbnails and logos,
Okay.
social media posts, and all that kind of stuff.
Social media
So I
posts.
guess what my question is, in what aspect you're utilizing it to help promote reselling and phone flipping, and how you're doing that. Like the product catalog to me makes perfect sense. More stuff like that. I like
Okay. How to create phone flipping price list then probably. All right, yeah, I'll get that done.
Or promotional posts where you can post in your local community and have people actually hitting you up. So you're not always having to spend money on ads, or you're not always having to do reach outs. Essentially, you want you want inbound traffic as well as doing outbound traffic. If that makes sense.
It makes complete sense. No, that does. That makes sense. Okay. All right, yeah, I'll get that done.
And then the last thing I wanted to share with you, because I'm really, really curious about this, and I don't know if you're familiar with this at all.
Uh-huh.
Are you familiar with what's called a value pack or a coupon booklet?
I've heard of it, but I haven't done any research into it.
Okay. So basically, what this is there's this company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you pay, like these businesses will pay big money. I mean, not big money, but they'll pay money to
Yeah.
basically be listed in these value pack or these quick coupon booklets. Okay. And they basically mass mail these damn booklets
Oh, yeah, I heard of this. Yeah.
out to residential areas. Now, here are the problems. Number one, they will brag to you that, of course, oh, you're only paying like a penny per person, that you get leads that might come through your store.
Right.
Um, the problem with the model is following. Number one, you're talking about coupon clippers and value pack folks. So the majority of these people are basically what I call cheapskates who don't want to spend any money. Not really, right?
Yep.
Number two, you're dealing with a situation where every Tom, Dick, and Harry, like you said, with reselling, if you're sourcing from Alibaba, everybody in the free effing world has the same shit as you. As far as, you can have, for example, let's say you run, I don't know, let's say you run a fucking pool business and you get listed, right? Well,
Yeah.
there's 6 other fucking pool businesses in the same booklet.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. So that's number two. So exclusivity is out the nose. It's basically junk mail because it looks like junk mail, so it gets tossed.
Yeah.
So you probably have an actual attention rate of let's call it maybe 10%. And of that 10%, let's say you get 10% of that. So you're talking probably about 0.1% of attention span.
Right.
If that makes sense.
It does.
I recently came across the guy on a marketing channel when I was surfing YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you, I like to watch what other people are doing and such.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm always catching your videos as well.
I appreciate you, of course.
I'm usually one of your first 5 viewers, bro.
Nah, yeah, I believe you. I appreciate you.
You almost always, if you see at least 20 or 30 views, believe me.
Oh yeah, I believe you 100%.
Yeah. There's this one guy, and I usually say, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
There's this one guy, and he came up with a model that I thought was really fucking clever. What he does is, and he designs it on Canva, which is what captured my attention because I remember you mentioned Canva being so goddamn useful.
Yeah.
He takes a 9-inch by 12-inch piece of cardstock, so to speak, like glossy cardstock. And what he does is he splits it up into 16 sections, and he goes out to local businesses face to face, kind of like you talk about with the electronics reseller.
Mm-hmm.
And he does one of two models. Model number one, he'll go out to them and he'll say, hey, I'm a local business owner, and I was getting ready to run some ads to the folks in the area that are new movers. Basically, the people that have just moved and are either homeowners or renters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, my business is going to be on this cardstock, and you can actually have one printed out. You give them a physical, like you said, a catalog that they can touch and look at and see, so it's not some abstract idea.
Right.
And if you're interested, to help share the cost of printing these out, it's going to be $100.
Mm-hmm.
Have your business listed. But here's the deal. if, for example, if the guy in question is, let's say it's an HVAC company in the area,
Yeah.
you're going to be the only HVAC company on this card form.
Oh.
And the new movers, let's say there's 600 new movers that just moved in the last, 30, 45 days.
Right.
Okay? So you paid $100 to get in front of, let's say, 500 or 600 people. The odds that you're not going to get at least a 1% response rate based on that fact, especially if you make a reasonably good offer, as far as come to our store, and establish a relationship kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, first time customer kind of situation.
Yeah.
You're gonna make $1,600 selling these ad spaces. Okay? It only costs $500 to get them printed.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds it sounds good. I mean, but
The only other idea he had was doing it similar with a 9x12, but in this one, you're doing the same thing, but you're not doing new movers. You're doing everybody in the area, and you're utilizing the post office to have a list of delivery addresses. But the thought process was, for me, number one, it would help potentially generate income via selling the ad space, as well as being able to promote reselling electronics through the area. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Everybody on that list, and especially once you built a website, or even listed your products, for example, being sold at a local store that you've already connected with, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you're bringing more foot traffic through the door, and the store owner's happy because you're selling shit, they're selling shit, everybody's making money.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really solid idea. I was gonna lean into that and work it out, because I could see that being a potentially huge element to helping other people in the school group for building face-to-face connections to sell electronics.
I think it is. And again, like a lot of the people in the schools group is gonna get taken out, but only because of the environment.
I'm trying to give back as much as I get and make it that much better. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah. But I think what you're saying, that is interesting. I'm gonna think about that, because I think that is, it's very flawed, but it's a good concept.
What do you see weaknesses, if you don't mind my asking?
Authentic. I think that it's not authentic. I think that it's no way to tell if that really is, if your post is really being shown to people as much as it's being said. There's also no guarantee people are going to see it. I think what I would do is I would do SMS instead of doing, if I could find a way to send an SMS alert to new movers, or an email alert in an email listing, as far as like sending a week full of emails to the new people in the area, or a way to send them digital, because nobody is going to, in my opinion, because I'm a young individual and I don't watch or I don't read my mail that much, right? Unless it's important. Anything that's promotional, I just literally don't look at all. So I think that,
Do you think the fact that it's old school physical is a failure?
yeah, it's not gonna work. I think it's a complete failure. I think it will work in 1990. I think it will work in 2000s maybe, but I don't think it's gonna work now, because everybody's so fascinated with their phones. They're walking to the mailbox on TikTok. So it's like, I get it, but I think that it's past its time. It's a good idea, but if that idea was actually something, it would already be done. It will be done, and it will be done because it's something you could do on a mass scale, right? Like you could do this. A company can do this on a mass scale in every state. You know what I mean? And be making money.
Well, they do in a mass scale to a certain extent now,
And that's why I don't think it's going to work, because exclusivity, when you do that, you're it makes sense. Like, don't get me wrong, exclusivity is great, it's fair, it's awesome. But if I was going to do that, then it's like, well, if let's say I'm offering exclusivity to a coffee shop, but this coffee shop fucking sucks, right? Like, they make the nastiest coffee ever. If I put
you definitely want to try the product, I would think.
yeah, right, because it's like if
You said utilize the product first to see if it's worth the shit. I totally get that.
yeah, because if you do the wrong type of promotion, and then let's say the little bit of people that view it and actually go and indulge in a service that is horrible, then they probably won't look at it again. But now I'm thinking about it, that type of situation and that type of service would be good if it was in the form of like a Groupon a little bit, or an app for people looking for discounts in the area. If you put it in the app and you made it exclusive to each area, and maybe you did the exclusivity aspect as far as you're on the front page exclusively, I think that would be good. But I don't think that putting somebody on there and saying, hey, you're the only one, is going to be good, because you're actually, as a business, hurting your pockets, hurting your reach. Because listen, if I know you got exclusive rights with this person, I won't even I'm not interested in your business. You want to know what I'm gonna do if I got money? I'm going to create my own. And I'm gonna just go.
And bear in mind, when I say exclusivity, like, I'll give you an example. If I did something like this, I live in a remote area, so it would be like, oh well, I'll give you exclusive rights in this specific region or area.
Yeah.
It don't make sense to give them exclusivity and then have an entirely different area where people aren't going to utilize that business.
Oh yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense completely. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
You
but
said
yeah.
app or Groupon?
I think using an email list like a MailChimp, or using a service like that where it's like, hey, sign up if you want to become a part of my mail list, and you become a company that is known for giving people great deals, but also great benefits, but you're sending them emails, and then you can even have like another package where you're sending them text messages. That's way better, I think, because.
So what about this model then? Taking the idea and evolving it a little bit to see if I can solve the weakness in the model, so to speak.
Yeah.
What about doing like you said? Okay, getting either a email CRM or an SMS CRM situation. Reaching out to local businesses in the area, offering, quote unquote, to potentially promote them to people in the area for a monthly fee, basically, and then you get a list of people in the area, new movers and or established individuals, both potentially, and you mail them a little cheap, 25-cent, whatever the fuck price of a postcard is, right? You mail the residential owners a postcard basically stating, hey, if you want to become part of our list of the best businesses in the area or best promotional deals, because I don't know how you could get SMS and email address without having them opt in, and I don't know how to get that in front of them without shipping them a postcard. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because first you would have to do, because that's not, it wouldn't work that way. What happens is you have to start it small, right? And what you would do is you would go to all the local businesses and you would say, hey, how are you? My name is such and such, and I own this company. And what I'm doing is I am looking for great businesses. That's it, right? I'm looking for great businesses, and I want to have you listed on this email list because I indulged.
I want you to fill my HVAC spot in this area.
Right, because I know Susie, she indulged in your service and she said it was awesome. And I need someone like you.
Right.
That's how. So can I put you on there, da da da, and then and go from there.
Right, but how are you getting people like customers?
You ready? You ready? That's how you gonna do it. Because the same way you went to that company and said, "Hey, I love the way you have your service. What if I told you I can get you some more customers, sir? This is what I need you to do. I want you to give me your best deal you can do, the best type of um, discount, whether it's 50%, 45%. Give me a coupon code or something that a customer can utilize to actually get this. And what I want to do is I'm going to offer people your discount and try to funnel business for free. But I just want to let you know, I will be collecting their email and their number in exchange for that discount, and I'll share that list with you. Okay, well, I have this package that I'm offering, but I'll be willing to take a 45% loss on it for 30 customers. So this is the coupon code, and then what you do, you go to MailChimp or any CRM, and you start to you can do postcards, or you can do flyers, post in their certain areas of, hey, here's this coupon. All you need to do is text this number or go to this website and have like a little link that will have people go to like a landing page, which will essentially be a funnel that they enter their email and their number. And then once they do that, then they get the discount code.
Okay. So you're basically posting or you're posting
talking about
flyers or mailing physical postcards to get them to respond to the coupon code.
Exactly. We are talking about how to build businesses. Just brainstorming.
I like that because you're getting the email and the phone numbers where you can promote ongoing from there on.
Yep, and then you have that customer's information, which is you can even it's a lot.
What?
It's a lot you can do. It's just a lot.
Yeah. No, I see that because then, like you said, potentially in the future, now you have a list of people that have responded. You can track them, assuming you know based on the code they responded to.
Yep.
Now you can reach out to the local business and say, hey, I'll do a text blast or I'll do a email blast to all the people, to promote your businesses or to promote your business.
Exactly. Yep.
And there's no reason in the world you can't be promoting your business now for free with that same list.
Yep, and you're utilizing the leverage of every other company to make your business look great, or even just to put your business in front of people.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, I saw the vision of it. I'm like, wow, that's cool because I know when I did some digging on it, the guy that was sharing the idea, he was saying if you look at doing this cardstock idea, typically to print, for example, like he was talking about sending it out to say 10,000 people in an area with exclusivity to the business. He was saying if you look at it, if a business themselves tried to do something like this, because of the sheer cost of printing and everything and mailing it themselves, it would probably cost them $7,000 plus, because you got to figure that high quality printing on a decent quality paper, is going to cost at least $1 a piece between shipping and printing. Times 10,000 pieces of literature. But
if I know their address, why can't I just go ahead and Google their address, look up the people that live in that place, and get whatever contact information I can, which is public information, and it would be a lot of work, but it would be free.
Yeah, no, I understand. He was just saying that if you took the literature basically and divvied up the cost between a number of businesses, it was making it cheaper for the business to be able to promote to those 10,000 people. But I see your idea too, because I like the element of yours because you have more control in the middle with having them come through a landing page.
Exactly, and that from that landing page, I own that.
Yeah, yeah. Versus when you print the paper, once it's out of your hands, you've lost control. You've lost your leverage.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. I like that. It's a similar idea, but it's improved. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how business works, right? You have an idea, or somebody has an idea, and then you find all the negatives, and then you just turn it around. And if you keep circumventing it, then you come up with a great business plan and great business model, and then you just make it happen.
Yeah, because I don't see a reason whatsoever why when I'm out there, reaching out to these local businesses, trying to see if potentially them selling my product makes sense to them, why I can't also be asking, hey, what's your best offer that you can do? I can help bring you business. I can do, like you said, I can do both simultaneously. It's just adding another element to it, improving it.
Exactly.
All right, well, you have answered everything I can think of, man. I appreciate your time. Sorry I was running late.
No, you're fine.
I had a lot of thoughts. I apologize. I had a lot of questions, a lot of stuff that I've been taking note of, for the last month or so.
Yeah.
And
No,
it was hard to cover it. It was hard to cover it all, so I do appreciate your time. But yeah, I got some gems today.
No. I think this was awesome. I think that you gave me a lot of insight as well, and the motivation, and I got a lot out of this as well. So trust me.
Happy to give back, Brandon.
And I'm happy to give as well. So.
And I will. I'm going to start trying to do this, and I will share my results here over the next couple of. I'm still having, because of my schedule, Q&A sessions are kind of screwy for me right now.
Well, that whole schedule is going to change shortly.
Okay. But as far as I'll be there tonight. So
okay.
If we have some time during phone flipping, as things unfold, I'll keep you informed there too if you want to talk about it. Like after you finish.
Yes, sir.
After we finish wrapping up phone flipping, I can give you insight as to where things are going with the ideas and all. Okay.
Sounds great.
All right, man. Hope the rest of your day is great. And,
you as well.
Glad I was able to give some ideas too.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you later, okay? All right, peace.
Sure. Catch you later tonight.
All right, peace. All right, guys. Whew. We've been on for a long time now. A long time, guys. But I really like this type of format. If you guys want to have a call and ask me questions and we talk and I help you with business or whatever, I got you. You can just hit me up on Instagram, hit me on Snapchat, Twitter, all of that, Hustler Talking. All one word. Just hit me up or in the comments below. Like, let's work, let's network. I got a lot out of that conversation. My guy is really insightful and I love talking to you guys, especially when you critique my business, because it's all about understanding how to get better. Like, I ain't too good for nothing. I ain't good enough. I'm not polished enough. I'm not profitable enough. I ain't nothing without you guys, and I appreciate everybody that's watched. I'm about to go and spend some time and figure out what my son wants to do for his birthday, and I will tap in with you guys later. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you guys later. Peace.